we did some of that.
Like Disney geek.
Well, hey everybody, it's Josh with Resort TV1, and we are live here at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. And we have, as you can see in the title and thumbnail, some very, very special guests. We have Jenny and Jason Simpson here, and we're going to tell you more about their story and their experience for the race and everything. It's going to be amazing. So thanks for being on, guys.
Yeah, we're so excited, and we're excited to meet all of your friends. Hi!
Yeah.
And you guys know Steph as well. You're on there, yep. Okay. So anyway, so we wanted to start here, but it's kind of like loud, so we're gonna walk to a place where it's not quite as loud. So we'll keep going here. But yeah, they just finished the marathon today, 26.2 miles. How are you feeling so far?
I'm not skipping around the park quite as quick as I was yesterday.
The half marathon?
That's right, yeah. We did the dopey, so 5K, 10K, half marathon, and finished with the marathon today. And we're excited to tell everyone about it because I feel like all four are pretty different experiences.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And you said we were just before we started, you figured out how much the mileage was total. What was it?
48.6 miles.
That is a lot of miles.
That's a good 4 days in Disney. 46.8 or 48.6. Oh, I can't mess that up.
Yeah, no, don't short yourself there.
That's right.
3.1, 6.2, 13.1, and 26.2.
26.2.
So
That's amazing.
48.6. Yep.
That is so awesome.
An average of 13 miles a day.
Oh,
Is that my
48 to
no.
4.
Well, it kind of like...
We're runners, not mathematicians.
Yeah, I know. It kind of ramps up, though, like we talked about. It actually, you start, with the 5K, which is pretty easy, and then it kind of ramps up. So does that help then prepare for the marathon?
Yes, it totally does, especially because, like, the 5K is chill enough, and it's not as popular, I don't think. Like, it wasn't as busy, don't you think?
I don't think there's as many participants.
So we kind of learned the whole like bus routine, get to the start routine. So I would definitely recommend doing the 5 or the 10K if you want to do the half or the marathon, because you kind of get like, I don't know, a little bit of experience before you want to show up for the longer run.
So on on a race that's a little easier, a little less stress, and you just kind of you can figure it out. You don't have to worry about if you have enough time or anything. So that's good.
And here's the top recommendation, I think, is like if you're gonna do the half or the marathon, bring your whole family to the 5K.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Make it a big family day.
And we saw some families doing that. Yeah, we saw a family of like 7 or 8 who are all participating in some event and having a blast.
Were a lot of them like dressed similarly or with the theme or something if the families were doing it?
This was in the evening when we saw this particular family,
yeah, got it.
I'm sure they do,
dress up, yeah.
Or but theme it so that they're...
But this year was a little bit different, I think, because it was cold the morning of the 5K and the 10K.
It was cold, so we didn't necessily see all the costumes at the start.
Most people were in like sweats and stuff, because I think like kids were a
trash
little bit
bags
cold,
held
but
up to keep warm.
That's awesome. Oh, here we've got Paul here. He says, "Can't believe you have Jenny on your stream." Yay! Yeah, so we should, as we get out here, we should probably like introduce Jenny a little better and our connection to her as well. So let's go down here towards the water, and we'll be a little bit more in the shade. Oh, that looks nice.
down over there.
So again, welcome in everybody. We got Mara, we got Miss Disney fam, Vicky Croft, Mardret, Mara. Thanks for being here, guys. It's a beautiful day here at Fort Wilderness, and we decided.
Cold enough.
Yeah. We decided to do it here because they're staying here, and also because it's a little bit easier to hear for an interview rather than at the parks.
Down that way, Josh, you tell us where you want to go.
Let's go down here, actually. Yeah, we'll just go down by the water.
Oh, you can see the boat docking.
That's perfect.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at those tables. Those are lovely.
Yeah, those will be great. So, yeah, just as we walk down here, basically, first of all, Jenny is Steph's cousin.
Yes.
So that is kind of how we know them.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
actually, let's
Her
go this way so we're not in the boat dock
was first
or boat ramp.
cousins with my father.
So say it again. I'm sorry.
Her grandmother is first cousins with my father.
Yeah. So that's how.
I don't know that I could have told you that.
Yeah, I am sure
we're
you-
just family.
That's
we're
right,
just
we're
family.
family.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my gosh, can I tell you, like, to have these two, Josh and Steph, to like help you navigate Disney, we were like, we know Disney. I grew up here in Central Florida, but we don't have to know anything because we have Josh and Steph on speed dial.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun to help out, and you guys, you grew up part of the time here in Orlando anyway. So
yeah, we were annual pass holders, and from 3rd grade through high school, we were
So
here.
Liam's age to here.
Yeah, and yeah, we just loved it. To me, Disney, I don't know, especially like high school prom and like youth group outings and stuff. Like this is just a place we always went for every big event. And so a lot of my childhood, like a lot of people, is really wrapped up not just in Disney but like specifically being in the parks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liz, to answer your question, yes, Jenny is a famous runner. She is an Olympic medalist. And so tell us a little bit about your Olympic experience. I mean, you competed at several Olympics, but just tell us a little bit about your Olympics experience.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself a little bit. So Jenny Simpson, I was a professional athlete on the track and field for 15 years. I competed in 3 Olympics, 2008, 2012, and 2016, and I medaled in the 2016 Olympics, which was amazing. A really incredible experience. Talk about like lifetime achievement, top of the podium kind of moment. And so I finished out my career at New York City Marathon this year. The very tail end of my career, I started marathoning. So I should be clear, all of that like big time accomplishment racing, I was running the mile. So I was a shorter distance person. Went to the marathon, retired this year in November at the New York City Marathon. So that's a little bit of me. Love running, have always loved running. I fell in love with running right here in Central Florida. And I also want Jason, come over here. We got to introduce Jason.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So that's a little bit of my running story.
I was about to sit down.
Is my husband. This is my husband who's with me. Jason Simpson, marathoner.
I'm introducing myself?
Yeah, tell them a little bit about like you as a runner.
Yeah.
Oh, as a runner, I was a runner in high school and college, and then I moved to Boulder, met Jenny, and then running became a big part of my life. I would do a marathon or 2 every year, and then I would hop down and do a lot of Jenny's training in the summer, getting her, helping her get ready for races and stuff. So I would do usually 1 or 2 marathons and then 1 mile in New York every year.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that since 2009 or so when we met. So today was my 21st marathon.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Your marathon career is old enough to drink.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's
right.
so true. That's so true. And then we'll come back to this a little bit later. But Jason and I think it was 2014 or 15, somewhere around there, we ran the Wine and Dine half.
Oh yeah.
And I ran the Princess half with my sister at one point. So we had had tiptoed a little bit into Disney races, but this is our first like real like common run.
We knew enough to know that it was awesome.
Yeah, we knew enough to know we were going to have fun.
When we could decide, we're doing this Run USA tour, and we'll get to that later. But when we could choose anywhere in the U.S. to start in our kind of running adventure, so running infused van life adventure. Part of it was because Jenny grew up here in Central Florida, but then Run Disney was a big part of it. We wanted to start the year off with an amazing event. And couldn't think of anything better than the Run Disney.
Yeah. So, Josh, do you mind if we just talk a little bit for a few minutes about our Run USA tour?
Yeah, please.
I retired in November, and I told my husband after 20 years of representing the United States as a pro athlete, I didn't want a retirement party. I wanted to buy an RV and run all over the U.S. So you tell them a little bit about Run USA.
Yeah. So running infused van life adventure. So we're doing all 50 states in 50 weeks. And basically just doing the best that each state has to offer in terms of running. So we're visiting running communities and we're hosting group runs, inviting the community to get involved and come join us, but then also all of our followers at Jenny and Jason Run USA. And then we're going to try to do that and then also an event each week. So whether that's here at Run Disney, or we got some other races lined up, but it's not always going to be races. It might be national.
Just like fun stuff. That's
some
not
fun
running.
stuff, yeah.
So now
national parks and that kind of stuff.
You mentioned your social media there, because our moderators can post that. So you said it's Jenny, and say it one more time.
Jenny and Jason Run USA on Instagram, YouTube, but mostly right now because it's so easy to like shoot stuff out live on Instagram. So most of our content is on Instagram.
Okay.
So Jenny and Jason Run USA. That's where you can find us. On all major social media platforms.
And you said you're starting with like the stories and things now, and then eventually there'll be some edited stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have the longer form, more edited versions of like our state recaps on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. I think Florida's going to be a really, really fun recap.
Florida might be like a 3-hour episode.
Hey,
that's all right.
Perfect length.
That's all right. Our last cruise video was an hour and a half. People like long videos.
There's even more to show than we imagined. But Jason had mentioned we started here in Central Florida. But specifically, the reason that we wanted to do Run Disney at the start is, first of all, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like a retired now. If you're going to marathon as a retired person, come do Run Disney.
Oh, yeah.
So it was super, super fun. But also, and I think this is like so critical, and I share this with a lot of the Run Disney people that we had the fortune of working with, is like, this is an event that is just so accessible for so many people.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm an elite athlete. I've done all the running. Of course, everyone. Now, first of all, I should clarify. People are like, oh, Dopey Challenge is going to be so easy for you guys. We still got to do the running. It was not that easy. It was still a lot of running.
Yeah, when we got to the campsite today, she was like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm a little sore."
I'm a little sore. I'm not walking quite as normal.
Yeah.
But truly, like I had that. So I go back to what I said earlier about we did I did the Disney half or the princess half.
Yep.
And you did Wine and Dine. Mm-hmm. And we just saw in the spirit of Disney, like this was just a Disney magic infused running experience, which means that anyone can and anyone would want to be a part of it if they knew what this was about. So,
for
you
sure.
know, I go to the New York City Marathon or Boston or something, and not everybody goes. Hopefully everyone can look at that and be inspired, but not everybody goes and says, I can do that someday.
Right.
But everybody comes to Disney and can think, I can do that 5K or that 10K or that marathon someday. And so that truly is a big part of why we love the Run Disney events and why we really wanted to kick off like a community running centered year extravaganza with a place where we thought everyone can meet us here.
Oh, absolutely. That is so cool. And
we get to visit.
And we also just wanted to see Josh's stuff. You know.
Yeah, we got to hang out and have dinner the other night too. Yep.
Good friends, people that know Disney. Like we understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't know much about the Run Disney or like the Dopey Challenge, when we're looking up, I wanted to do all 4 races, and I thought, this sounds kind of crazy. There's probably not too many people that do it.
Right.
And I looked it up and I said, Jenny, how many people do you think do all 4 races?
And I told him, I don't know. Like, I know thousands of people run the marathon, so maybe like 300 people do all 4.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and I think this year it was somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 people.
Wow.
7,000 and 8,000
Do the
people
Dopey.
all 4. So
Wow.
So we earned our ears, but we're definitely not the only ones. There's a lot of people out there. There's the Goofy Challenge, which is the half marathon and the full marathon, and there are a lot of people doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just as the events built, like the excitement built with it.
Yeah.
So by the time you got to today, you know, people were just like so excited.
yeah.
Well,
So go ahead.
Where else do you get to run and hug Mickey Mouse and Beast and like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were racking up the character
really were.
photos.
Oh yeah, a little later we'll show you a little snippet
Yeah.
of their video that's going to
Yeah.
go on Instagram, or it might already be there. Is
Just
it already?
posted it.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
just posted it.
So
So
you can just
they
watch
just
it, yeah.
did a recap, and we'll give you a little teaser of it here in just a minute, so you can see it, because it's like very fun, just a little recap of all the things that they did this morning. So, as far as like the Disney racing experience, I mean, you were talking about, you know, the difference between like, you know, doing Olympic trial runs and doing Disney runs. Obviously, one is a lot more serious, but I think you were saying like the DJs and things were like giving you energy along the way, whereas you don't really have that benefit, you know, on more of the professional runs.
This was the most exciting and entertaining way to do, whether you're coming out here just for a fun run or you're coming out here to race. I mean,
there's like the visual stimuli around you. It's like there's people. It's interesting people running in costumes. They don't announce ahead of time where the characters are going to be. So
yeah,
you're
we
always
did
kind
look
of
into
on
that.
the
We were
lookout.
curious.
Oh.
Like, can you see along the route, like, oh, Cinderella's going to be here, Mickey Mouse is going to be
you
here,
can kind of
and
plan
you
yourself.
can't. It's kind of a surprise, which can cut both ways, right? If you know you want to see one character,
It keeps your mind engaged the whole time, which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
And then just different music. Sometimes it's like from a Disney movie, and sometimes it's the Beatles or Queen.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps you motivated as you start to get tired along the way a little bit.
Totally. In fact, there's a couple of times where there's Disney songs which are like so nostalgic and awesome, but they're like the slower songs, and I'm like, oh, we got to pick it up here.
Got to pick it up.
Yeah, I can't get sentimental when I have 10 miles to go.
Did you have a favorite song along the way?
Yes, I thought Hakuna Matata was like the best.
That was mine too.
And
Through the World Showcase.
Well, all the Lion King ones.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to be king.
Yeah.
I like in the middle of Epcot started singing it really loudly.
I love
think
that.
The volunteers thought I was totally crazy.
And that was mile 2, not mile 24.
Oh,
Yeah. And we just had a blast. Yeah, I think the Lion King music is my favorite. Probably whatever is like that Disney movie that was like when you were like 6 to 10 years old. It's like the one that's Lion King.
But
for
it's
me.
so I don't know, like, yeah, it's so funny to watch people run in and out of those stops.
right.
Yeah.
For the characters.
For the characters.
Is what you're
For-
talking
for
about.
Oh, yeah.
the runners to run in and out of the character stops because they really want to do it and
Right.
then they really want to get going again. So
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mad dash, smile,
Yeah.
and then
Here we go.
So we don't really have that in our reel, but we took on our longer form video
We'll
on
show
YouTube.
some funny
we'll
show
show
some
some
of
of
videos.
of people
And
coming
just
in and
how
out.
excited, like when you see the character that you were waiting for and you really wanted to see. This is really funny. Today in the marathon, we had less than a mile to go. Like you would think that I would just want to be done. And we saw Olaf, and I got so excited, started screaming. And
didn't
I love that.
Quickly.
I think I scared the people around because I got so excited. And then I ran off and I said, "You're worth melting for."
Well, I heard some
It
of that.
was
You
really
put the audio in the video. I think there's a little something. I can't remember
Yeah.
It's like
which.
the only clip that has
The little
audio.
clip. You had to put
because I
that in
was
there.
So excited,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh, Olaf!
And
It was so
what was
fun.
cool about today, and I may be wrong because I'm not the Run Disney expert, but a lot of people were talking about how I think it was the springtime races used to be Star Wars themed,
Yeah.
and that kind of went away. But they did Star Wars in the middle of the race today. And so
And
Oh,
they did
cool.
It, like,
And that was
in
a surprise to
dark,
me.
like wooded part.
was really cool.
It was really cool.
they had a
Oh, that's
late,
awesome.
yeah, it was
Somebody was
lights and
asking-
Smoke Machine.
Oh,
Darth
that's
Vader
awesome.
was there. Chewbacca was there
Oh.
as characters. And
Yeah.
I've seen one of the when I was looking for pictures to do the thumbnail. There's a picture of Chewbacca crossing the finish line, but it was at Disneyland, so I couldn't use that one. So.
yeah.
No, one of the things Sky Starry was asking, is this a media event? No, we just happen to be very, very lucky that Jenny and Jason are part of our family, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and we want to like tell people about our experience too.
Absolutely.
Like I know you can go to Disney over and over and over and maybe never like totally consider doing the running. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about like should we talk about each you tell us, should we talk about each race or should we talk about like what makes just the whole thing kind of
Well,
unique and fun?
I think that would, let's see. Go ahead. If you're just starting,
So, well,
Go ahead,
you
Steph.
can do that if you're just starting, but also you guys have ran like all over the world,
Literally,
and
yeah.
now now
we'll have to
you're-
talk about that later too.
Yes, for sure. And you're just now coming back to like run at home, and like everyone watching probably feels like Disney is home. So how does that play into the emotions of coming back and running here and all that? Like,
I think
does that add to the excitement?
The early races, the 5K, the 10K, I think it was a little bit hard for us to take it as seriously because they're a little bit shorter. There wasn't the same kind of energy, and like you're home, you're not away, so it kind of feels like, I don't know, kind of like a home meet sort of situation. But the marathon was different. The marathon, I woke up this morning, and I don't know, it was just like a different level of energy, and I was worried. So the half marathon, I think, was the hardest race for me. Was it the hardest race for you?
It was, yeah. Well, I don't know.
It was really cold and
Marathon's
rainy
always
yesterday.
hard.
Yeah.
Marathon, we felt better through most of the full marathon. The half marathon, we haven't been running on a ton.
Right.
So
By our
the holidays.
standards,
By our
we
standards.
haven't been running a ton. And so I can say very clearly for me, we woke up on the half marathon day and it was raining.
Oh,
And so
that's
like to
hard.
be wet and be out there, like that was hard. And then it did feel kind of long. This morning we woke up and it was earlier. So Disney is starting to start the marathon a half hour earlier.
Oh, wow.
So it's an early morning. It's 4:30 start. But I don't know. I just had energy this morning. I was so ready for it. And I thought I was going to be miserable. I know that there are some people that sign up for the Dopey and they're like, I'm definitely going to do the 3 and we'll see how the marathon, like how I feel for it. And I kind of understand that because after the half, it felt like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do
How can I do double this? Yeah.
but I don't know. I felt like there were more characters. There was more like aid stations and stuff. There were more DJs. They really, really pack it in. We didn't go more than a mile without something to like really like amp the energy up. And then with the sun rising, like
Oh, that's
you
beautiful.
finally get to see like some of the resorts and some of the parks in the
sun coming up
sunlight.
made a big difference.
Yeah.
'Cause
When-
when you start to get tired, or at least for us when the sun came up,
that
I don't know,
helps you.
about 20-ish or something.
Yeah.
So we had the last 6 miles and it's warming up.
Well, and being in the parks too, and when you get to run through the parks, I mean, obviously running around Disney is still fun, but when you are on Main Street or you're running around Epcot or, you know, whatever, I think that's got to give you some energy and get you excited too, I would think.
So that was what I was going to say. It's like the best thing about doing this compared to just going to the parks is like, even if, okay, we should be very clear. Like, we're closer to the front. So when Jason talks about like dashing in and out with the characters, we're lucky because we're closer to the front. There's not a wait, you know, to get pictures with the characters. But even if you're later in the other waves, you get to be in the park before the parks open.
Which is so cool.
And you also get to be there when it's dark, which I think is really magical because the lights are all on. And the course is lined with cast members, and especially when you run around the showcase. Tell them a little bit about the showcase.
I just think
That was your favorite part. You said that in the run.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part. I mean, Main Street, running down Main Street is really magical as well.
Okay, talk about the showcase first, and then I want to tell them about Main Street.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite.
So I think the showcase is up there in terms of my favorite like spots at Disney. So just to be able to run around it and see it in a different way. And
the cast members are out with flags, which is so cute.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, they're cheering for their country, which is really sweet.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's really pretty, like the Epcot ball, and you have the lights off of the lake, and just to be able to more or less have it to yourself, but it's really sharing it with the other runners without anyone else there. Like, it feels like you have it to yourself. So I don't know, I think that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and then, oh my gosh, the Magic Kingdom, that you get to experience if you run the half marathon or the marathon.
Yeah.
And if you know you can run, I would recommend like train a little bit and run the half, because you get so much more time in the parks and you get to do Magic Kingdom. And Magic Kingdom is so special because you come around, like, you know, all the beautiful white lights as they welcome you into Main Street. And then people, I didn't know this. Okay, so I was kind of surprised, and maybe a lot of you know this. Maybe I was just like not paying attention. But families and stuff take the monorail from the start at Epcot to Magic Kingdom. So there's a lot of the Run Disney event that's not like a typical like race.
Right.
You know, you're running on back roads and things, and there's so many like amazing cast members out, but not tons of fans.
Right.
And you come down Main Street and it is just packed with people.
I've seen that.
They're
it's so cool.
so loud. And you come around, you know, you see all these people are cheering. The Christmas tree is still up, so that's beautiful. You come around the Christmas tree, and then you see the castle. And it's just like, I mean, all of Walt Disney World is waiting for you to arrive. And I just think that's like the most magical moment. You go around, they changed the course a little bit recently. So you enter Main Street first, you wrap around Magic Kingdom. You go, I think, through Adventureland first, and then you wrap around and you come back through the castle.
Nice.
Like, come on, who doesn't want to like
pretty epic.
run through the beautiful
Well, and
castle?
being on Main Street and having the crowd and having them give you energy, like, I know, you know, I remember one of the moments I can compare to that is when we set foot in the Magic Kingdom for the first time after COVID.
Yeah.
And the cast members were lining the streets and cheering for everybody coming in, and I got emotional. I was like, oh, it's been so long since we've been here, and everybody's so excited. And I think just anytime there's a crowd on Main Street, but especially when you're running, you've got that adrenaline, it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, and I was like totally shameless. I'm like running up Main Street, like hyping people up. I'm like, I can't hear you. It was so
Flying the
fun.
plane.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really, really
I
fun.
love that.
And the fans, they love your energy too. So
Yeah,
if
they get
you're
on a
gonna work
ladder.
hard and train and come out here and run, hype people up. Like, have a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, people sped up. People like
Yeah.
Oh, they sped up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
can
Pace
feel the
quicken.
energy in everybody. Yeah.
And it's not the fastest stretch, you know, it's kind of winding and you're moving through the different parts of the park.
Well, you kind of want to enjoy it too a little bit, like
Totally.
take in the moment a little
Yeah.
bit.
But
Yeah.
it's so hard because you do get a shot of adrenaline, you know, with all the people there.
Yeah.
So as far as and talking about the pace and the momentum a little bit, obviously, you know, there are those that go out and they try and, you know, win and try and get at the front. But you guys, we talked about earlier today, like you weren't going out to win or be in the front. You were really just going for the experience.
Yes, we definitely like took it at a reasonable pace. We still ran pretty fast, but we definitely took it at like a fun Disney pace for sure. Yeah. And that was one phrase I heard this week that like really warmed my heart. Somebody came and met me. It was really fun. I was a part of the start line show a couple of times, and so there were people in the race that knew I was there. We took pictures and things, so that was really fun. But there was a woman who said, "Oh, Jenny, you're like for real fast, but I'm Disney fast.
I
And
love that.
I love that. I love that because that A Corral is like, you know, Disney people that made, again, like this is just such an approachable experience. And so it just warmed my heart that she's like, I'm Disney fast. And I loved that she felt that way about herself.
Well, and we were
That's
talking
so cool.
to Run Disney employee, and they're saying that running is the only sport where you can be a total beginner and share the same start line and the same playing
No, you're right,
field
yeah.
with
the
an
pros,
Olympic,
yeah.
Yeah.
Olympic
Yeah.
medalist. But for us, as you know, who are more like performance minded in the past in terms of like running results, it's good for us too to like slow down and experience running in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's what this tour is about for us, the Run USA tour. But this is really good experience to be like, okay, we're gonna let time go and just, you know, collect experiences.
No
instead of
performance
collect
standards.
personal
Well, right. I was going to say, because you know, your whole career, you're watching the clock. You're you're thinking about your form. You're
Yeah.
doing all the right technique and all these things, and it's got to be fun to just let that go and just kind of enjoy it, right?
Yeah, it is so much fun. And like Jason said, I mean, the character stops, the DJs, and just like hyping up the crowd and being excited with people. That was a really the most fun way for us to make that transition and say, oh, we want a whole year like this.
And what's cool is
for
that,
sure.
that you don't have to run the whole thing. If you're watching, you're thinking I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that will do kind of a run walk program, and Disney has its own coach and set up to help you get started. So there's a lot of people out on the course that are like blazing fast or necessarily even running or jogging the whole way.
That's what I was going to say. I
Still
think
get out there and participate.
Yeah, you
and
can
have
get
a
it.
good time.
You don't. I think a lot of people are like, there's no way I could run 13 miles or you know 26, let alone. So it's like, but you're not, you know, unless you're really trained and you're really experienced, you're not going to be running the
But
whole
if you
time.
do a full day at Disney in the park, you're probably covering 13 miles anyway.
yeah, it's true.
So
it's
why not
true.
experience it in a different way?
Yeah. And even us, like, we stopped. There were a couple points that were just, like, really magical for us. So we stopped and we walked for a while and filmed a little bit and just enjoyed the moment together. So,
Yeah.
if you feel like, oh, I'm not a runner, like, everybody out there is having a fun experience.
That's what somebody in the chat says. They need a walking race, but actually you could walk the 5K or even the 10K probably and
come
be
pretty
just fine.
close,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the cutoff time per mile is 16 minutes a mile.
Okay.
So as long as you can hustle and walk that. You
can walk that.
16 minutes a mile for sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone that participated today at some point was not a runner. You know,
Yeah,
even us at some point we were not
exactly.
runners.
Right.
So it's just about getting out there, getting started, and
I love that.
and baby steps.
And if you do want to check out a run program, Jeff Galloway is like the king of that. And Disney does a whole program with him. You can check out Jeff Galloway, he's an Olympian. And he
1972,
has gotten more
5K,
people
I
off the
believe.
couch than anyone I know, getting
Nice.
those beginner miles in and kind of learning this doesn't have to be an elite status thing. And that's a big thing about like why we want to do Disney is because even for us, like it's intense. Like it's hard to run fast all the time. We wanted to come here and have fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So what was it like? You were talking about being on the starting line there. What was it like kind of being a part of that and the energy of the beginning of a race like that? Or the whatever the event you were talking about.
So at the start line they announced that I was there, which was really, really fun. And then this morning, specifically before the marathon, they had us as part of kind of the stage show. You guys, if you come out to do the races, you come out kind of early, you have some time where you're hanging out in the corrals and you're waiting for the race to start. So kind of depending on how you time it and how early you get out there might be a half hour of hanging out in the dark with your friends, with all your Disney family.
Right.
And I was laughing. I said on the stage, I said, like, who wants to wake up at 3 a.m. unless all of your friends are here?
Yeah.
And that is what makes it doable. But so I was on the stage this morning, and I was so excited because they invited Jason to also be on there. I drugged him up there.
That was not part of the deal.
Yeah, this whole
Like
Run
right
USA.
before we went up, and your questions are, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
You were like, what now? What
So
now?
we're throwing him into the fray, which was awesome. But it was just really fun. We got to share our enthusiasm and energy for Run Disney, hype up some of the runners before they get going. And then we went to the very front of the start so that people could take pictures. And I think the most fun thing about us being up on stage was people could see our outfits and see like
Kind
who
of
we
spot
were.
us as-
So once we were in the race, like people, we got like a few little character moments where people wanted pictures with us, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
That is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And so I guess if we want, we can walk a little bit. Maybe look over at the stables and stuff, and then we can
Yeah.
kind of keep talking as we go.
Too.
That's awesome. I don't want to make you stand. Somebody's like, I can't believe they're standing doing this. Yeah, I don't want to make you stand when you've just run 26 miles.
Making them stand squinting in
Yeah,
the
sorry.
Yeah, no, we're doing great.
It was a good shot for a while, though.
Yeah, I love it. I wanted to, not that I'm like running the show. Josh
No,
is
no,
running the
you
show,
go for it.
But I did want to say, Jason, like, what are a couple of tips?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you've signed up. You're gonna do, any of the races. What are some tips that you have? I have some, so I'm trying to set him up and make him be a part of this.
Training tips or like
No,
tips
you've
for
signed up. You're doing the
participating?
race. Yeah, tips for participating specifically with RunDisney.
Well, you go first if you got something in mind.
Okay. So one of my tips would be, you have to go to the bathroom. You're in the race. Wait till you get into a park. I know it's like everyone thinks about the running part of it, but it's true. If you're running 26 miles, you might have to go to the bathroom.
You might have,
running
yeah.
13 miles, you might have to do a bathroom stop.
Right.
One of my top tips would be, if you can wait, don't do the porta potties. Wait to be in the park and actually use the bathroom in the park.
Good
I
tip.
did that both races. I had stops both in the half and the marathon. And the park bathrooms are pristine and clean, and there's cast members there to point them out to you. So
Right.
use the bathrooms in the park.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip for sure.
What do you? And they're lit. Like the porta potties are dark.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Oh,
And you're
good tip.
trying to shimmy down that cute little Disney skirt that you bought for the race. That's hard to do in the dark.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a fun time.
Okay. What else would you say?
I mean, there's a lot of people that register and a lot of people participating. So I would say just be patient.
Be patient.
in your pacing. Be patient. When the gun goes off, there's going to be a lot of people around you. So just be patient. The course, it'll thin out.
It thins out.
The
Yeah.
course, the crowd will thin out that you're around. So don't panic.
Yeah.
Stay patient.
Yeah.
And then just like any race, just pace yourself. Be patient
Yeah.
with your pace.
Especially if you haven't, I mean, you guys have done so many races and marathons, like about pacing, but maybe if you're a newer runner, you might have trained well, but you didn't, maybe think about pacing, so you haven't done that long of a
Yeah.
run. So that is really important to think about.
like, if you keep up 16-minute miles, so, like, give yourself a little bit of buffer, but say, I'm going to start out, like, 11 minutes a mile and
Yeah.
see how that feels. And do something that's, like, really attainable. Even if you think you're ready to run a little bit faster, start a little slower and feel it out. And if it was too slow, then great, you're going to look amazing at the end because
Right.
you're not going to be tired.
Right.
I have one other tip.
Yeah.
My other tip for Run Disney is, like, compared to any other race that I've done in my whole career, do this one with a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jason and I
Yeah.
had such a blast because we were together. And also, like, I ran with my phone, he ran with the GoPro. You can, like, take pictures of each other. Disney takes way better pictures with a photo pass than we did.
Right.
But it just enhances the experience to have someone on the bus, have someone that you're, like, screaming about meeting Olaf with. I don't know. It just was way, way, way better because we did it together.
Share the magic.
I love that.
Yeah, share the magic.
Here's a good comment. Heather says, I'm not a runner, and I was able to walk the challenge for the Wine and Dine this past fall, 5K, 10K, and a half.
Yeah, way to go, Heather.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I love that you just threw yourself in it and said, I want to be part of the experience, because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Jason, while we're passing here, tell them about our experience last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our pre-race.
A pre-race meal typically means Italian. So you do your pastas, you do the
Carbs, yeah.
stereotypical carbo load. You guys have probably heard about that even if you're not a runner. But last
We
night
had ribs and fried chicken instead.
we
Yes.
did the hoop-de-doo review. And it was
Right here.
very entertaining. But yeah, we've never had barbecue, fried chicken. What else is mashed potatoes?
It
mac
was
and
so
cheese,
good. The food was
cornbread.
so good. Who cares about the race the next day?
So
the
good.
food was so good. And
Some adult beverages.
I
You guys are living your best Disney life. That's what it's all about.
I had Bud Light the night
I don't think I've
before
ever
the
had
race.
as many calories before a race and felt so good during a race.
Yeah. We've been doing it wrong all these years.
Maybe runners have it wrong.
Now,
Hey, that's what- wait.
Jason, tell them your background with barbecue, because
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like your opinion on the barbecue may
Kansas
be
City.
That's
superior.
true. So,
Kansas City.
I'm from Kansas City. Go Chiefs. So
Oh no,
yeah, I've
you're
had
gonna polarize the audience.
It's all right. We talk about sports
good.
sometimes.
We're
It's all good.
but yeah, no, the barbecue there was good. It was very
Okay.
good. Don't know if it was Kansas City good.
Okay, all right.
But the cornbread was top notch.
No, and it's a fun show too.
Yeah. That's what I told Jason. I said, it's a pre-race pep rally.
Yeah.
Like,
and
we
they got the
had
audience
the singing
That's
involved.
and dancing. Yeah.
It was really fun.
That's fun.
really, really
Felicia has a question, and we might do question and answer too later a little more, but this is a good
sure.
one. She says, half marathon trained this past few months. Do either of them have any tips when dealing with sciatic nerve issues?
Oh boy.
Oh, I would say, okay, you have a doctor that you go to, but find a sports medicine person. Like, what we're trying to do, okay, a lot of times you'll get recommended, like, take a break from running, and not running fixes everything. Trust me.
Sure.
I know. Not running fixes everything. But if you have a sports medicine person, a lot of times they can help you through functional movement stuff, continue to run and train and get better.
Yeah.
And I really love this saying. I heard this recently that movement is lotion for your joints. You
Yeah,
know?
that's
so
true.
As long as you keep moving. So I would say find a good sports medicine person, plug in with them. Find another running friend that knows a sports medicine person and get advice from them. Because
Okay.
a lot of times they'll help you keep moving while you're addressing whatever your pain is.
That's awesome. Yeah, I figured that you've worked through all these issues. I'm sure both of you
Oh my gosh.
before several times probably. So
Yeah. And whenever you're on a run, this is kind of one of my cardinal rules. Whenever you're on a run and you have, like, your knees start to hurt or your hips start to hurt or your feet hurt, if it's equal on both sides, you're probably just getting tired.
Yeah.
If it's not equal on both sides, like if this knee hurts a lot and the other one doesn't, that's probably when you need to kind of slow down, take a break, and maybe see if you've got an injury going on.
that's really good advice for sure. Yeah, that's
At the end of the marathon today, all of my parts hurt equally. I was very balanced.
break time.
Which
Yeah.
after all the traveling you guys have done in the last couple of weeks, that really says something. That you're
Yeah.
able to keep moving and that you feel pretty balanced. Because,
Yeah.
since you guys have started this tour, with...
We've been
with your
sleeping
whole-
in an RV.
Yes,
So-
with
Yeah.
this whole new life. And I'm living vicariously through both of you because this is something I've really tried to talk Josh into.
Well, talk to us in a few months and see if
That's
we
right.
still love
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they're at the beginning of the stage. Hopefully it goes well
know.
though.
So this is another little piece of advice. Recover with puppy cuddles. That's what's
Oh,
been
yeah,
helping
yeah, you
me.
guys have your
We're-
two dogs.
We're traveling with our 2 Jack Russells, and those puppy cuddles after these races has been key.
I love that.
Sure.
I love that.
Okay, this is really cool, and I don't know anything about it.
No, this is no.
This is
yeah.
how Josh takes over, and you
No,
get
no,
to
that's
give
all
us
good.
a tour.
So, but you guys do have some experience with horses. I know your mom keeps horses, and
Yep,
so
I grew up riding here in Central Florida.
So
So-
you did ride.
This smells like my
I was,
childhood.
yeah.
I was like, how do you feel about the burn
I
smell?
love it.
this guy,
Oh my
this guy wants to say hi.
baby.
This is Jet.
Wow.
Hi, buddy.
They can just smell that you're a
You're
horse
gorgeous.
person.
Yeah, there's some very, very beautiful horses here.
Oh, buddy.
How's he
Did
doing?
you dump your water?
Say maybe. Say.
You're chewing your strap. Oh, you got that worked out, didn't you? Look at those blue eyes, like those
Yeah.
eyes of the eyes. Oh, you think we have food, don't you, Samson?
So, well, maybe. But it looks like you don't, so I'm going over here.
Hi, Samson. Oh, hi, bud.
Hi. Oh,
Are you listening to us?
yeah. I'll say hi.
I was wondering if it said how tall you are, because I feel like you're one of the tallest.
He's got a very expressive face. It's so funny. You can just tell he's like, yeah.
Okay. We can tell an advantage of being a Disney horse is you are clean.
Yes.
He's clean.
He is well cared for.
His mane is beautiful. It's like, I don't know. He did hair and makeup this morning.
I probably did. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And there's
So
there's
these are all the Percherons that pull the carriages.
Oh, I love
And
it.
the
history of Walt
they
Disney
eat
and horses. Yeah, isn't this
inside the
cool?
parks.
Yes, this is Steph. This is my wife. Somebody's asking, is Josh's wife with him today?
Yes.
There's Walt Disney and a horse.
I couldn't let Josh have family time without me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I
Oh
love it.
no.
I'm so glad you came. I love that Disney is keeping this alive.
Oh, yeah.
I know that like keeping draft horses and doing all of this, it's a lot. And this is really fun.
Oh yeah,
This is out of
so much cool stuff.
Isn't this the Calliope app?
It probably is a version of it. It's over here actually. Let's see.
Let's go look.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
I had to laugh at the band.
Thank you for taking the horses. Oh, for sure, Bird Love. Absolutely.
What? That's like next level drum corps, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, can you do it and take care of a horse at the same time? Hello.
There's Red. Yep. Oh,
Hi, Red. Do you have questions?
yeah.
How many horses do you guys keep in the facility?
105.
Whoa! Not
Wow.
like 7. Oh my gosh!
So
that's
these are-
amazing.
So these up front are just a small selection then, like
Small selection. Guys that do well with, no offense, Bill's crazy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
These are your bomb-proof horses. Okay.
Yeah.
To handle
And the
us.
guys that just like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Try to give you a good representation of the horses we got up here.
Okay.
Belgian, Percheron, Clydesdale. Occasionally we'll have a Shetland up here, other than the guys that pony right here.
A mini horse. Yeah.
Mini is different than a pony.
Okay.
I may not be explaining it correctly, but a mini is, what's the word I'm looking for? Structurally, if you took a horse,
Yeah.
like a quarter horse or a big guy, and you shrunk him,
Uh
a
huh.
pony is its own separate thing structurally.
Okay.
They're built, in my opinion, much
Yeah.
better. Than,
And
Okay.
a Shetland is a mini horse, right?
No.
No.
Shetland is a type of pony. A mini horse is a mini horse.
Got
Okay.
It. Got it.
Shetland is a pony. Yeah.
You know what? We're learning a lot.
There you go.
Every
See.
day.
Yeah, you
That's
really
awesome.
do learn something every
Very
day.
cool.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We don't want to interrupt them getting their.
Here's the Calliope. Let's see. Here's Prince. He's a Percheron. He's getting some food there. Oh, this is Dragon. Yep. Yeah. Well, there's a picture of us standing next to him. And you kind of see from here, like his back is like at the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, he's taller.
He's
than
so
me.
tall.
I had to give your mom credit though.
This is Dragon, guys.
Yes. I hope
From
she's
the
listening.
from the stable stream. Go ahead, Steph.
Because when we took the sleigh ride a few weeks ago, Liam walked right up to him and introduced himself.
Oh,
Like he was stayed behind the
that.
ropes and he
Yeah.
was so respectful. But he was like, "Hi, I'm Liam. It's nice to know that your name is Dragon. You're going to be chauffeuring us around today." And like he just had a whole conversation with the horse
love
and then
that.
climbed up. And when Liam was 2, we flew from here to Jenny's mom's house, and the first thing she did was set him in his really full diaper
Up on top of a horse.
That's right.
And
First
of course
picture.
we're like trying to grab him, and she's like, no, he'll be fine, and he was fine. He's like, he's so high up.
He wasn't scared. He rode the horse like a pro, and he introduced himself like a pro the other day. And I was like, those are the memories you make with family. You know,
totally.
like I had to give your mom credit.
She put me on a horse when I was 36 and I wasn't fine. That's a true story.
That's because you didn't do it
That's
when
a
you were
true
2.
story.
That's
true. I was
right.
36 and I was
Dragon is such a beauty.
He's
Oh my
beautiful.
goodness.
Yeah. We were very impressed with him the other day.
I
Yeah.
should have asked that stable guy what they use for conditioner.
Oh yeah.
Their
I know,
hair
right?
is gorgeous.
Oh, here's some ponies.
Oh, hi, baby.
Hey there.
Beautiful. Oh, look at your hair. I know. I told you they did hair and makeup. this
Yeah.
Wow.
Braided very nicely.
Can I ask you a question? Of course. What do you use your mini horses / ponies for?
So our ponies will do our pony rides.
Okay.
And we also have some Cinderella's ponies, so there's actually a couple outside getting it back now.
Okay.
They pull carriages for weddings, and then they'll pull Cinderella's pumpkin coach in the Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
So that's actually what the ponies are getting back for now. They're supposed to work tomorrow. There's a wedding, but it's going to be a little chilly. So they're getting their baths today so that they're really
idea.
scrubbed clean. And then we'll just give them a little touch-up tomorrow before they actually have to
That's
go
what our
out.
wedding was missing, Josh.
I love
Yeah,
it. We
horses.
should just get married again, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Renew the vows.
Yep.
I love it.
I love the braiding on the tail. That's so
It's a little
cool.
pricey, so you tend to have smaller weddings.
Oh,
here
there
at
you
Disney.
go. Yeah.
That way you can renew your vows also just have a smaller size.
See, there's an option for everything. Oh my gosh, look
Is
at
that a
his
hidden
little
Mickey?
bottom.
Yes.
He's got a hidden Mickey down
His
there.
bottom. You are the cutest.
Yeah, that's a hidden Mickey down there. He doesn't want to show. That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
So pretty.
He's hiding his little behind from us.
Oh, but it looks so pretty.
It's so cute. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Hi, buddy.
You are precious.
There it is. Look at that, guys.
Look at that.
That's like a little horse tattoo. I love it.
So we have a little stencil, so we give him his haircut. We just clip all around it. So it goes nice and long.
Love it.
That is cool.
Look at your beautiful mane. You're all done up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd get married on you. You're so cute. So cute.
Let's say how I'll open this towards you.
Oh, come to mama.
It's Maui. Keep her head up on his forehead or on his neck.
Steph's like throwing me the water like,
I know, I smell like electrolytes.
Oh. Now is your shit? They're all boys. Maui, is Maui gonna get a bath, or has Maui already had his bath?
So he just works pony rides.
Okay.
Cinderella only has solid white ponies.
Well,
Oh.
come on
So
now. Yeah.
he's brown and white, so he'll work pony rides. So he got nice and brushed off real good today.
Okay,
before
see,
he
we're
starts.
feeding you. You don't have to get wet today. Yeah, you're a sweetheart.
He's like, you're wearing red. Is that his favorite color? Red? Can you tell?
I don't know what his favorite color is.
Nudge her twice if it's your
He's trying to
favorite
tell you
color.
something.
All right. Thumbs up on that one.
Okay.
It's a snacky thing though, so we might be interested in what's inside the cup.
Got it.
Okay,
Got
all
it.
right.
All right. Well, we won't tempt you. Thank you
That's
for
right.
being
No
Yep.
coffee for horses.
He's
Yep.
so sweet.
Hi, baby.
you
All
being.
right. Good luck, sweetheart.
Nice to meet you.
We like your hairdo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, these are Cinderella.
Yeah, these are the ones getting a bath. Wow.
This is what you get if you're a princess.
Yes. That is so cool.
This is a princess Uber.
Yes. Yeah.
Princess
Love it.
Uber for an Uber princess.
Right. Oh, you're so cold. I know it's so cold.
While we're doing this right now,
Yeah.
The warmest time during the day.
Yeah,
all
good idea.
these three guys are going to be on a wedding tomorrow morning.
Oh wow.
But we start at 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's
Yeah.
going to be, a crisp 40 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So get them spick and span
Yep.
tonight.
Clean
Do
and
it
pretty.
Now, that way we don't do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
You
idea.
babies are so good. You're so good. Look at you. You're
This
gonna
is
be so
Polly,
beautiful.
and then on your right side is Teddy, and then the left side is Moose.
Hi,
Hi, Moose.
Moose. Oh my goodness, Moose. You look resigned.
He's like, "I'm
to
wet."
your bath. Yes,
I'm
you
wet.
Look resigned to your bath. Oh, worth it. You guys are
Were
gonna
you
be
going to
so
ask what the
beautiful.
conditioner is?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
So funny. No, so the public is allowed to walk through here, guys. Yep. Anytime that it's open. I believe it's open until like 5. So anybody that's staying here can walk through here. So, yeah. Or, well, anybody that's just here. So, yep, it's open during the day.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, I grew up Disney, and I didn't know about Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, and it has been such a cool experience to be here and camp and see Disney in like a very, very different context.
You guys are loving the stream. Yeah, this is totally, what's cool about this and doing it here like this is totally different than what we normally do. First of all, we get to interview Jenny and Jason,
Yeah.
which is so cool. And then, we get to meet all these cool horses too. So it's like a whole bonus. This is the Calliope. Does this actually work now? Let me see.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
That is,
It doesn't get more Disney than that.
Yeah,
that's honestly what I'm thinking is like,
that's so cool.
if I was going to be royalty, this is the version I
Yeah.
would choose.
I love that.
Walt Disney Royal.
I mean, but look at these. What are these? The big, those things that attack them.
That's not.
Tag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, look how
So
shiny they are. Like, that is
Yeah.
like.
It's like the hood of a Cadillac.
Yeah. Chrome.
That's great. Oh, it's beautiful.
There you go, guys. Hey, take your tail, John.
Well, harnesses.
Yeah, there's the rest. So
This is like the backstage of
yeah,
the stable.
it is. So cool. But I mean, this is how clean they keep it and how amazing.
It takes a lot of work to do that, doesn't it?
I mean, I know what work 2 or 3 horses is. I can't imagine.
What do you say, 100? Yeah.
They weren't as tidy as these horses here.
Oh, yeah.
These horses are tidy.
Well, there's a lot more stable hands here.
Well loved.
Yes, very well loved, exactly.
Your mom didn't have a team of like 50 stable hands either.
I know. What was she thinking? What was she thinking?
Oh my goodness. So a lot of people were saying they love how enthusiastic you guys are and how the motivational. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well,
So-
it's easy when you're in such a special place, you know?
Yeah.
And you guys talk about your ears a little bit. You earned your ears today.
I know. I kept telling everyone
Look,
we
it's
earned our
got a patch
ears.
right there.
So actually, is this a decent timing?
Yeah.
Should we show our?
Oh, you know what?
medals?
Let's go here. Let's go over here on the bench, and
I love
it's
it.
nice and sunny, so we'll be able to see them.
So the reason I'm wearing this backpack is because I brought our loot to share with all of
Okay.
you to show you. So you tell them about one of the fun things.
We're here. Do you want to sit backwards to the sun, or
It's up to you.
Oh, I'm
Whatever's
okay.
easier.
I like to be well lit.
There you go. Yes,
So-
you're well lit here.
Yes. I've got. So one of the really, really fun things about running the Disney races, the medals are so good. They're so fun. And
This is coming from somebody who has an Olympic medal.
has an Olympic medal. Exactly.
and the World Championship?
Exactly. And so you get a medal for each of the races, but if you do the Dopey, you get a special medal for Dopey and for Goofy, because the Goofy races are if you do the half marathon and the marathon. So I don't know why they make the longest ones, the challenge. Well, because I guess they're challenging.
The challenging, yeah, it's
there
an
you go.
achievement. It's
That
an
works.
achievement.
But anyway, so we brought our medals with you to show you. If we haven't already convinced you that it's worth running a Disney marathon, maybe the bling will convince you. All right. Oh, but you mentioned the hats.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get the medals out. You should help me. We got to bring you back in.
Okay.
You should help me. But I think the best surprise of the entire day at the marathon was that when you finish, you
Yeah.
get a pair of ears that have like the little marathon patch on them.
That is cool.
And so, of course, we all get to come to the parks and buy ears. But we earned these ears, and
Yeah.
that feels so special.
Yeah, you can't buy-
That's so fun.
You can't buy these. You have
And
to. You
that's
have
your
to.
first
Yeah.
pair of ears.
Well, yeah, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit to all of you, all these years going to Disney, I don't own a pair of ears. And it wasn't like as popular of a thing when I was a kid. And then you come as an adult, and we were here in August with our nieces, and like, I don't know, we just never picked up a pair of ears. So I'm so happy I finally have a pair.
It was meant to be that was your first pair.
And I ran a lot. I ran a lot to get them. Exactly. Okay, so we'll do the medals. And I'll have Jason help me. It's a heavy load. All right.
Oh, watch the bees.
Well, we gotta go in.
See the
we gotta
construction
go in
over here while
order.
they're getting them out.
We gotta go in order. We gotta show. Did you throw extra ones in here?
It's contemporary
All right.
over there.
I'm gonna be your little Vanna White
There you go.
Yeah.
and hand you.
Well, I'll put them around your neck.
You had 30
No.
Let's
horses.
do it in the
Wow.
order
Yeah.
that they were won.
One stable hand for morning and evening.
missing-
Owners trained and bathed. That was a 3-hour round. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Katie, that's amazing.
Okay, Jason.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I haven't looked at these yet. No, this is a 10K.
Oh, 10K?
There's so
Oh, I
many.
missed the 5K. I'm sorry, I
We
didn't
might be
grab
missing
it.
a 10K or a
5K?
I've got
Okay.
the 10K in my
That's all right.
hand.
All of you,
Okay.
you'll have to
And
put
what's
10.
really cool, and I've never seen this before, but they have moving parts.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wow. It's like they
Wow.
can run. They
Move
run
back.
from one side to the other. There we go.
Isn't that cute?
That is
Which is
awesome.
really cool. 10K, 6.2. Congratulations, Jenny.
Oh,
You
thank you.
earned one medal.
Around the ears and everything. There we go.
Medal number what is supposed to be 3, but it's only 2 today. But
Yeah.
the third medal
10K,
that we won
and then this is
was
the
the half marathon. And each of the races are themed.
Oh, cool. So this
And
is
so-
this is Donald and Daisy.
Donald and Daisy, and let's see what happens. These
They
are
are
kind
so
of like a little
nice.
And they're heavy.
Little shakers.
Yes?
little
They're
shakers.
very heavy. They're very heavy.
Those
These
are-
are hefty.
Tell Jenny.
So-
Oh, there's your dad's on here. Tell Jenny her mom is watching. Her mom gave her her first horse ride.
That yes, yeah,
sure.
yeah, very
Just
true.
like Liam.
So 13.1 miles. Congratulations, Jenny. You get medal number 3.
Yay!
After the half was today's full.
Marathon.
We
Look
earned
at
these
that.
today.
And I'm so glad they do Minnie and Mickey, right? Like that's what you want. You
And
want
more
the
shakers.
classic.
That is really cool.
It's so cute.
And it matches station sweatshirt.
And again, you definitely earned
And
that
your ears.
26.2 miles. That's a
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
award
work.
you. Congratulations, Jason.
There you go. Jason
for
gets the
finishing your
marathon medal.
marathon.
Yes.
And if you do the marathon, you get the medal and you get the ears.
Woo, woo.
6.2.
All right.
So,
And then the challenge
Oh,
medals
the big
are
ones.
super cool.
Oh, wow.
So this
Here, you
is
can
our
get this. There you go. Yep.
this is our Goofy challenge medal.
So now that one is for
The half marathon and the marathon. If you do the two,
It's
and
goofy.
I think it's adorable. They call it a race and a half
Yeah.
because you
Oh,
do
that's
the
fun.
marathon and you do the half.
39.3. Okay.
39.3 in 20 years.
Cool. Wow, that is cool to have the
Apparently.
20-year anniversary one.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's
2025.
just absolutely beautiful.
So consider running your Disney races to
Yeah.
get your little medals
Bling.
here.
And I mean, it
That's
seems
not-
obvious, but I
that's
love
not
that
a
the
little bling.
I love that the year's on it too, because I mean, obviously you're going to look
that's a
back on
good
these and
point.
remember what year did we do that? Well, it's on there, so it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's good.
And then
And then
The big one.
coolest one.
one.
Now you have to be like kind of certifiable to run all four and to be a finisher.
Oh my gosh, it opens.
It
I love that. I
opens
didn't even know
up.
that. Wow.
Never seen that before. Very cool.
No, very cool. Dopey.
Dopey.
Yeah, they are
show 'em
top
the back
notch.
of it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and the back is all of them have.
Oh wow.
That is.
So just
It's very.
very ornate.
They're very heavy.
detailed,
They're very cute.
very creative.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There
here
they are.
you go.
Here,
We're missing
turn
the
this
5K.
way just a little. There we go. We'll get the sun. There we go. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect.
We're missing
Yes.
the 5K. Sorry about that, everyone. But
well, you grabbed two 10Ks.
yeah.
So
So
you're
you,
actually
but you
bonus
get
of
the
5.
idea. You
Yeah,
get
that's
the
awesome.
idea.
So we've done one dopey challenge, which makes us, what were they calling them?
Here, I'll-
Oh,
Dopes.
the yes,
Are you a
we're
double
dopey.
dopey?
double
Tell
dopey.
them about the guy that we met.
Well, we met a gentleman that has done all 32, I believe it is. So he's a perfect marathoner. So if you've
He's
done
run every
every edition,
single
you're a
marathon.
perfect marathoner. So that was really neat to meet him.
Wow.
But if you do, I don't remember how many dopies there's been, but if you've done every
Every
dopey
dopey
challenge,
challenge.
you are a perfect.
And there are people that
Dopey.
have done every single
Every
one,
single
which
one.
is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how many. There's
That
been
is insane.
More than a few.
I think there's 12. I think there's been 12
12,
years
okay.
of dopey.
Do you got before you take them off? Do you want us to get your picture and then
Oh
you can
my
use
God,
that on your
yeah.
social media too?
Yeah.
Now that you're standing here in nice sunlight and you've got your
Silly
Yeah,
me,
why
Steph
I'm
on.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I've got them right here, Steph.
Oh, well, of course you're fast.
You could pretend that this is the 5K.
Oh yeah. Why don't you put it on? Here. You get 3, I get 3.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll get a with the sunlight the way it is. It's just about perfect.
Love it.
Hey, Leslie. Oh yeah, Leslie. We talked about it, but we'll talk about it more about just getting started for sure. All right, here we go. We're gonna get a picture.
Oh, there's people. Hold that.
Just 1 second.
You gotta get the shadows. Hang on. More shadows.
All right, we're good. And there we go. Oh, shadow. And now.
Got it.
Okay, good. We'll send them to you.
Oh, I love it.
My neck is too
Anyway,
weak to support
happy
those medals.
birthday.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, they're pretty incredible. So now, one thing we didn't mention as you're getting your medals put away, you did also win a world championship. And what year was that?
In 2011, I won the World Championships in what is the 1500, which is basically the mile. That's the Olympic distance for the mile. And then in 2013, I was a silver medalist. In 2014, I was #1 in the world, which was really cool. I won the Diamond League, which is our like top level of racing series for the year. In 2016, I won the bronze medal in the Rio Olympics in the 1500, and then in 2017, I won the silver again.
Wow.
So 2 silvers, a bronze, and a gold medal in my career, and a dopey marathon finisher.
Yeah, that's add that to your
Honestly,
resume.
yeah.
Well, now,
So-
I think the other thing we have to add to that is what you did in November.
Oh, that was
Like,
Well, and
we
before
kinda need to talk-
before we do
Oh, I'm
that,
sorry.
I
Did I do
actually
it again?
well yeah, and we watched a lot of the races live, but
Oh, yes.
the one that obviously we'll never forget the Olympic finish. That was amazing. But I remember watching the World Championship when you won the gold, and I think you came from behind a little bit on that one, and I think it was
Yes.
fairly exciting. I remember we were sitting there watching, and I mean Liam wasn't born yet, but we were like screaming, "Go, go, go!" Like usually we just watch from home. You don't get that animated unless you're
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
but
no.
we were screaming at the
I
TV
wanted
like
to
it was
throw
so
the remote
exciting.
TV.
So in 2011, when I won the World Championships with a lap to go, I was in 7th place. So I went from 7th to 1st. And then it was actually not that different when I won the bronze in Rio.
You came from a little behind there too. Yeah.
I think I was 6th or 5th, something like that, going into the last lap. And it was just an unbelievable experience because when you're in that position, especially at the Olympic Games, you can see the medals, you know, first, second, and third. You can see the people that are going to medal.
Yeah.
And you're gunning for them, and you just have to believe you can make it. And I finally pulled into 3rd in the last stretch, the last 100 meters or so.
It was really,
And I was gunning
really
for
close.
second. I was almost a silver medalist there that day. So just really, really, like, unbelievably amazing experiences. And one of the reasons my medals are so special to me is because, and just those victories in life is because there's so many athletes that work just as hard as I did, and they never get that moment.
No, you're right,
and so, you know, it's like it has to be the perfect combination of hard work, talent, and also just like things coming together at the right time.
Sure.
And I was lucky to have that so many times. And when Jason was mentioning the gentleman that's the perfect marathoner here at Disney, and then the people that have done the dopey every year, one of the things that crosses my mind when I hear that is that means every single year they were healthy enough to do it.
That's crazy.
And that by itself is just incredible to like never have like a sickness or an injury derail you, and you can stay perfect in the marathon. Or even if you had a small thing going on, you still were able to get through it. So what a privilege in life to be that healthy, to be able to go year after year
and do that.
and do that.
No, it's I love how you said that too about the, you know, there's so many factors. You know, obviously you have to be trained well, you have to be talented, you have to have all those things, but then there's all those other things that have to fall into place too. There's a little bit of luck,
there's definitely a little bit of luck. So I feel like really, really fortunate that several times in my career it all came together at the right moment. And you have to, like, I mean, we don't talk about this enough. If you're as good as I was at something, you think automatically you believe in yourself because you've proven you're fast or you're talented or whatever. And that's just not true. I mean, every single race you have to be courageous. You have to be brave.
Right.
So that's another part.
It's almost like this. I mean, so, you know, 2011, you've got your gold medal, but then you're still going out and doing more things, and you know, and I think it's almost like the slate's wiped clean every race, right?
Exactly. I always say because you won before, you don't get a head start.
No.
Like, there's no real advantage, and if anything else, there's like a little bit of people gunning for
pressure.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pressure. So yeah, for it all to come together and to be like keep my wits about me every time and be able to pull off a couple of really amazing races was fun.
Justin says Jenny is one of the greatest runners in American history. Wow.
That's right. Yes.
But I love the pressure. And I think it's like one of those things that, like, once you do it a few times and you break through the biggest fear of it, it's kind of addicting. Like, to get into a position where it's like, I don't know if I can really pull this off, and then you do. I don't know. It's really thrilling, which I think is part of the reason why we're taking on such a big challenge this year to run in all 50 states, because you just want to keep like pushing that envelope and say like, oh, what can we do next? What's the next hard thing that we can do and be really proud of?
Oh, 100%.
Something really powerful and just kind of getting out of your comfort zone, like intentionally saying, this is hard, but I'm going to challenge myself and do it. And just stretching that, what you're capable of, what you're comfortable with. So that can be a run, walk, 10K, or for us, that's hitting the road. And we're not particularly like fond of travel by road.
We're not really road trippers.
We've never like prior to test driving our RV when it was actually in the lot ready for us to.
Yeah, the first time we ever drove an RV was when we drove it off the lot. Yeah.
I love that.
And we keep joking, like, we don't really know what we're doing, but that's what makes life fun, is when you just, like, are learning something new. Like, being road trippers, and I don't know, there's a lot of it and a lot of, like, running and race experiences we're doing for the very first time, even though we've been running our whole lives.
Yeah. And it takes a skill, and Josh is so good at it, as far as, like, putting yourself in front of a camera and filming yourself. For me, that is another thing that's very out of my comfort zone. But I think it's good. I think it's healthy to like really challenge yourself and do something new.
Oh, for sure.
So all those things are part of this next year for us, and hope you guys will follow as Jenny and Jason Run USA.
Yes, please follow.
Facebook, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people
it's gonna
saying
be a blast. We're gonna have a ton of fun. There'll be some challenges along the way, but we're going to hit up national parks. We're going to do classic Americana type stuff. And so we have our first 8 states planned out and posted on our channel, but that will include they'll include the ceremonial start of the Iditarod.
We're going up to the start of the Iditarod.
So we're flying there. We're not driving.
I love that.
Time, so we don't have that time for that. But
Well, Alaska, that's quite a drive.
it's a little bit of a drive.
We're going to fly up
Before that,
there.
You're doing Georgia, Alabama,
Mississippi.
Louisiana, Texas,
Arkansas, Oklahoma.
Arkansas,
Yep,
yes,
yep.
and Oklahoma.
We're going to be in Louisiana for Mardi Gras. We're excited about
Oh
that.
my goodness.
That's good.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that'll
have
be
to-
fun.
Good planning there.
That's a good start.
So, but I mean, one of our goals for this whole year is to, one of the reasons we want to do all 50 states is that we want to show everyone in the country that there's something exciting to do in your backyard.
I love
There's
that.
something like a short road trip away from you that we find interesting enough, we're going to throw ourselves into it. And hopefully we'll show it to you and it'll kind of inspire people to take on some of the things in their backyard.
And it's kind of twofold. Like, we want to know from the people that follow us and that are interested, what's the best part of your state that you want to share that we can highlight. But then we also want to say, hey, there's these hidden things that are probably very near where you live that you could get to in a day or less that are really awesome. And so we've found some of those things in Colorado where we live. And already on this trip, we've found some spots in Florida that we definitely want to come back here.
Chris says in Richmond, Virginia, he says, come to Richmond, Virginia, great running community here.
Yes, we hope. Yeah, we're coming to Virginia. And we'll
Sooner
put
rather than
Richmond
later.
on the
There you
list.
go.
We'll put it on the table.
Richmond Spiders.
Yeah.
So-
Yep. And Roger says, Jenny inspired me to start training for the 10K next year. That's awesome, Roger.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, if any of you train for a race next year, let Josh know. We're so excited for you. We hope that we can be a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out there. Even when you're good at it and you love it, you can't love it every single day.
No.
Like even the happiest stuff that we do in life, there can be moments that are kind of a drag.
Sure.
But if you're going to do something hard, if you're going to get out of your comfort zone and take on a challenge, there are things you can do in life that are mostly miserable and they're challenging. Do a Run Disney event because it's mostly magical, not miserable.
Right.
It's mostly magical and it's hard and it's out of your comfort zone. It's a perfect way to start something that might be a little bit of a stretch for you, a little bit of a push, but ultimately, especially if you do it with a friend, it's going to be so much fun.
Well, and also
many good memories.
most people here probably are Disney fans anyway, so you get to combine, health, exercise, good fitness, and maybe picking up a new passion, maybe running your races as a passion. But yeah, you get to do it in your favorite place, which is cool.
Exactly. And that's the way to get into any sort of exercise. It's like, and if running's not your thing, find something else. But like the way to get into exercise is combine it with something that you really enjoy.
Right.
Even us, like, we don't just love getting out and pushing hard every day. Like, we don't get a thrill from that. We get a thrill from all the things that come as a reward of that.
Of course.
And so when you say like, oh, I hate going on a run, like, believe it or not, we understand. We don't go out every single day full of endorphins, ready to go. Like when the weather is bad. Like, it was a perfect example, the half marathon here. It was rainy, it was kind of cold, and I was at mile 10 thinking like, this is not my favorite experience, But then the very next day we get out to the marathon, which is twice as far, and I thought I'd be miserable, and I had a blast. I had so much energy. Yeah. Actually, it was really funny because I was telling some of the Run Disney people that we saw at the finish line, I think the volunteers here think that I'm crazy because we were in the last 10K and I kept yelling at all the volunteers, we're still having fun.
I love that.
I love your matching outfits.
I know. Jason.
Now she's making jokes.
I'm making jokes, yeah. So when you go up to like the water tables or
they're all wearing the same.
They're all wearing the
safety
same
vest
safety vest.
Run Disney
so I'd
shirts.
run by and say, I love your matching outfits.
I love that.
Yeah, so we just had a good time. And there's so many people with, like, I'm not unique. Like, this energy is, exudes from a lot of the people out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can walk down back towards the main settlement area and get you guys out of the sun a little bit.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
maybe we can even sit for a little bit. We'll see. But no, this was awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream. Yes, and a lot of good comments. And what we'll do here when we get back over, we can let them talk. I want you to talk about your 7-continent experience in a little bit.
Yes, we have to do that.
And then we'll. Well, now that's just a teaser. I didn't say what she did.
That's right.
Yeah, so that we'll talk about that, and then maybe as we get towards the end, maybe we'll let people. I know a few people have asked questions, but we'll do a dedicated question and answer
I think that's
time
perfect.
period. Yeah, so that'll be
and
fun.
Can you show them while we're in the sunlight? Can you show them my shoes?
Oh yes.
This is my favorite part of the whole weekend. Was I got my bows for my shoes.
Minnie Mouse bows.
I mean, the outfits are the most fun. You go to the expo and they have very running specific things
Yes.
to dress up in, and the bows on my shoes were my favorite.
Yes, that's the fun stuff that kind of gets you motivated, to do it. Is wearing the bows and the frilly skirts are for the guys. Some of the costumes that they put on and some of that stuff.
And we dressed up, but there were people on their A game.
Yes.
That had like really cool costumes. So if we come back, we're gonna do a little bit more planning.
Well, there you go. Well, this was a good first experience though for you guys, for sure.
For sure.
And just so amazing, for Disney to have you guys out and let you be on the stage and do all those things. Like, how cool for them. Now,
Which way are we going now?
just straight ahead here.
Okay.
Now, you did say earlier, wasn't there somebody you met and that he was like telling you, "Oh, I heard there was an Olympic runner in the half marathon yesterday."
That was the funniest. So we're getting ready to do the Hoop-de-Doo review yesterday. We're standing in line, and I wore my race t-shirts every day because I want everyone to know that I ran. So there was a gentleman in front of us, and he said, "Oh, you ran. How was the half marathon?" So we were chatting a little bit. And the courses have a few changes this year. Those of you that are more experienced than we are in the Run Disney stuff probably know more about the changes. But he was sharing with us some of his thoughts on the course changes. And then he was like, and we were out there and we heard there was an Olympian running in the race today, and she better have won because, like, oh my gosh, it's amazing to have an Olympian out here. And I was like, that was me. And he just thought that was unbelievable that he's like standing in line for a Hoop-de-Doo review and there's an Olympian there. So that was a really, really fun experience.
That is so much fun. It's such a neat thing for people because you can't. I don't know. It's not like every day you walk up and you meet an Olympic athlete. It's pretty rare actually. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's so fun to like. I don't know, like it's cool to be on the podium and have that experience, but like have the achievement. But for the rest of my life, I get to give that experience to other people.
Yeah.
They get to meet an Olympian and somebody that's representing the U.S.
Representing,
for them,
our country for sure.
So that's a really, really fun experience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's so cool. Steph, I think I'm going to take a really quick restroom break. Do you want to chat with the people for a little while? For just a little bit?
I mean, sure, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As long
Just
as
to chat, while
as
we're
long
by
as
the
it
restroom.
acquires a seat.
Steph has the controls.
Yes, yes,
Who knows
okay.
what's going to happen?
Well, even if you want to go over here, if you need a shady table, or if you want to sit here,
yeah,
why don't you do
I'm
that?
sorry, did you just say shady table?
I did. I mean, not
I
like
don't know. I don't like shady tables.
Not a shady table, but
Like, I don't know.
non-sunny. Yeah, there you go.
Shaded. There we go. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
I'm kind of dreaming of that. What was it we had the other night? That fruit. What do they call it?
Oh, the bread?
Yeah,
dessert?
the bread pudding. I'm
Bread
kind of
pudding?
dreaming of the bread pudding.
Oh, can I tell you, at the Hoop-de-Doo review, the best part of the food by far was the cornbread. Oh my gosh, wasn't it good?
It was very,
We
very
asked
good.
for extra.
Whipped butter.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
well.
really good.
Now you're talking.
Is it too loud or are we good here? You think?
I think we're okay. I don't
I
know.
kind of want to stand in the sun.
Shady
It's so
tables are
warm.
suspicious. That's right, Mara. that was my point. Here, let's.
Oh, did you grab my coat? Oh, you have my coat. This is why I bring a husband, so that I have someone to grab all my stuff that I leave behind.
Yeah, I think Jason and I are in the same roles because Josh just walks away and leaves things behind, and I
Well,
just
that's
pick
what
it
we
up.
bring our spouses for.
That's right.
Oh, and that was another thing we didn't mention. You get a race T-shirt
Same
for
number
every.
of
Okay.
shirts as medals, I think.
Yeah, you get
6
a
shirts.
race shirt for the 5K, the 10K, the half, the marathon.
Oh, so each race comes with
Yeah.
its own shirt.
Own
And it's a
shirt.
nice long
and then the Goofy
sleeve.
Challenge came with the shirt, and then the Dopey Challenge came with
Well,
the shirt.
see, so now you have 7 days worth of shirts,
I mean,
right?
we can do a whole Disney week.
Yeah.
Well, and like now you don't have to do laundry. They give you clothing.
Exactly. Which is part of why why I wore them in the park every day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is perfect. But
Yeah.
I think my personal favorite was
Well, red is your
the
color.
red. Yeah, was the marathon
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
Jason ran a couple of days in the Dopey Challenge shirt.
Yeah.
I ran in it today.
And you had a little skirt.
I know. I wore a mini skirt,
mini
which
skirt.
was really cute.
Like
When we
Minnie
saw-
Mouse skirt.
A Minnie Mouse.
Yes.
skirt.
A Minnie Mouse.
There we go. There we go.
But it was really cute. We saw Minnie Mouse in a half marathon, and I ran up to her and we took a picture, which was really cute. And I told her I liked her outfit.
Yeah.
We saw someone wearing a dopey.
Oh, that was really funny. So we're running the Dopey Challenge, and probably for 3 or 4 miles of the marathon today, we were chasing a guy in a full Dopey outfit. I was like, now that is real commitment. It was really fun. We had a really good time.
Where did Josh park his bus today? Yes. So Josh and I ended up driving separately. I don't know. Like today, it's a full moon, so I just accepted
Wild day.
and pivot.
Yep.
And so Josh parked in one place and I parked in the other, and then we took a bus over here. So worked out.
Yeah, we did not rent a golf cart. We were tempted to.
Yeah, it would be tempting if you were going to do
Explain a
it.
little bit about Fort Wilderness. And
Yes.
Wilderness is big. It is very big. They've got a very good shuttle system to move us around, and that's what Jenny and I have been doing.
Can you
But-
take the dogs on the shuttles?
You cannot.
You cannot
take
take
the
dogs.
dogs on the shuttles.
So the dogs have been getting exercise in between us doing stuff, but they can go on carts, and so they have. What you can't see right now is there's a bunch of golf carts behind you.
Oh, sure we can. That's called a pivot.
Pivot.
Yes, yes.
Cue the camera.
Bunch of
can.
golf carts.
And you can rent those, and it makes it a lot. The
And if we come
far-reaching
again-
part, so the park a little
Yeah.
more accessible whenever you want to move around.
If we
about.
come again, I think we'll rent a golf cart.
Yeah.
Especially for getting the little hops around to the dog
Yeah.
park and stuff
But
like
you
that.
can see people scooting around. Some people bring their own. A lot of people bring their own, and they're decorated and.
That's
When
what
they
that's
bring
for.
bikes and all sorts of things.
We've seen so many of the carts decorated, which I don't think it's even like the most like big season for
Oh
decorating.
no, there's some
Oh,
that like even around Halloween they'll decorate like a whole monorail
Yeah,
sometimes
and
or
people
something.
are adorable.
Yes, and Mark.
The
No campsite
are cute.
decorations.
So yesterday we saw one that had a flamingo tube on the top, and just everywhere we saw the golf cart around the park or around Fort Wilderness, it just looked like a flamingo was floating around. It was so
awesome.
cute. It
Tell
was
them about
really
Joyce and her husband.
Oh, it was so amazing. So there's some people come with their own carts, and we were walking somewhere. We weren't waiting for the bus. We just thought we'd walk. And there was a couple that drove by us, and they said, "Where are you going?" And they offered for us to hop on their golf cart. And Joyce and do you remember the gentleman
I
from
wanna say Mike,
Wisconsin?
but I'm not sure. They were from Wisconsin. Really
And
nice
they
couple.
were
Wisconsin.
they were just tooling around, picking up people and giving people rides
So-
to like the settlement and the front.
How nice is that?
It was really
Yeah.
cute.
And I
Yeah.
joke, I don't know if that counts as hitchhiking, but we're only in our
hitchhiked.
first week
Disney.
of
Yeah,
this trip, and we're already
exactly.
hitchhiking.
Well, you talked about Disney Fast. That's Disney hitchhiking.
Exactly, exactly.
That's so
that
awesome.
was
This is
really
called
cute.
Disney Family.
Yeah.
Yes, they definitely were up for the Disney family. Yes,
Love that.
yeah.
Well, maybe let's walk along the water on the other side this time, and then you can tell us about the 7-continent thing. I think that would be super awesome. The music's great, but I just want to make sure everybody can hear. I think they can still hear, but yeah, it is very festive though. And if you guys have watched our Christmas and Halloween golf cart streams, like the parking lot is not very full this morning. I think a lot of people checked out that were in the races and stuff. So I think the crowds are going down a little bit. Everybody's been talking about that, like with Christmas and New Year, the crowds have been insane. And after the race weekend, it kind of calms down a little bit, I think. So.
And we have gone into the parks every day in between the races, which I think we deserve another medal for, to be honest.
Yes, of course.
That was its own additional marathon. But I do have to say, I know January is often kind of a slow month. I mean, as slow as Disney ever gets.
Right.
But we were able to do 4 or 5 rides every day, which was nice. Oh, another pro tip. If you're going to go into the parks during marathon weekend, American Experience, Hall of Presidents, the steamboat ride, or the riverboat ride.
Yeah.
What's the Country Bear?
Country Bear Jamboree. Yep.
Yes. These are all like very good runner-friendly experiences and rides where you can just be off your feet for a
You can
while.
rest your feet a little bit. Yeah,
You're
that's a
not
good
waiting in
idea.
lines. You're just going into a show. Oh my gosh, the Voices of Liberty.
Yes.
Oh,
They're amazing.
I like you get like almost teary-eyed. They're
Yes.
so incredible.
Yeah.
Every time.
So
they're so good.
these were the types. I mean, we did Tron, we did Guardians of the Galaxy, we did do a few rides. We did It's a Small World.
I heard there was a controversy about which one was best between
Yes!
Tron and Guardians.
Oh, easy. It's Guardians for sure. For sure.
And
It is really close for me.
Yeah.
When we asked our followers, it was not close.
Oh, really? What'd your followers
it
say?
was
By
a landslide
total
for
landslide.
Guardians.
Okay.
I think one
Stick
woman
with me,
posted,
people.
I'm with Jenny, but one of my 7-year-olds is with Jason, and
Yeah.
me and the 7-year-old are the only ones that thought Tron might be the best.
Yeah,
But
Tron-
they're both amazing.
they're
I
both
like
good.
the speed. I like the speed of Tron.
I rode Tron again last night. I hadn't ridden it for a little while, and yeah, that takeoff, it's like you're flying.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
And yeah, you go in and out of the building. And
I will say we
lights.
got to run through Tron kind of from the back way today, and how big it is and how lit up it was. That was a cool part of running through the park.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
And the music is so intense.
It is very intense. I love that so much. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan for sure of both of those. But I will say,
which is your favorite?
Who
are you going to choose?
Yeah,
Oh, no, I-
who do you side with? Yes, we gotta put Josh
so
on the spot.
no, actually, I've already gone on record with this, so I have to stick
Okay.
with it. Guardians is my favorite.
Yes.
I've rode it twice. I got
going
conga
this way?
both times.
Yeah, let's go this way.
The first time I rode it was with our 8-year-old niece, and she was freaking out. She did it, and then it became her favorite. So I know which way she would vote.
Watch steps.
But yeah, it kind of made me sick the first time. The second time when we went yesterday, the day before, I handled it a little bit better. I have a weak stomach. That might be part of it.
My
Just
favorite-
Straight ahead is a little easier.
You gotta look straight ahead.
More or less straight ahead.
Unless it doesn't bother me, but my favorite song on there is September, because it's just such a cool vibe, cool song. So I don't know. So every time, and actually on September 21st this year, because they say, do you remember the 21st day of September? They actually played that song all day on Guardians on the 21st day of September.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
So that was neat.
We had conga.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
Bird Love.
That was really fun.
Conga's great. No, this is so beautiful here too. And I don't know if you guys know or not, but this, where is it? It's right there. That island right there used to be Discovery Island and is now abandoned.
Oh,
And
it's been fully discovered and explored.
It's been fully discovered. So when I was a kid, we went over there. It was like a zoological park, animals and stuff over there. But then when they opened Animal Kingdom, I guess they thought it was redundant.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
See, Disney's growing up. I remember when Animal Kingdom opened, because I was in high school, I'm sure. It was right before I moved to go to Colorado for school. And it was such a big deal. And I really wanted to get in the park before I moved. So Animal Kingdom was kind of special because it was right when I was getting ready to move to Colorado for college.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so great.
But more Run Disney tips.
Yes.
Pro tips.
Yes.
Pro that.
Pro that's done 1 dopey when there's people that have done 12. If you're a runner and if you want to get out and clear your head, get some exercise in, this is the perfect place to stay. I didn't know a lot about Fort Wilderness before we came here, but there's definitely places to run. Unlike a lot of the other resorts, if you've stayed on Disney property before, one of the challenges is there's not sidewalks to different places. You're kind of confined to the place where you are. And obviously Disney transportation is amazing, so you don't need the sidewalks unless you want to go for a run. And so this would be the perfect place to come if you wanted to run, stay in a cabin or stay in an RV campsite. But the other thing too that I have really enjoyed, and we've talked about this, hopefully someday we have a family and we're back with kids, and I'm like, this is peaceful between the parks.
It is. You couldn't imagine that. Literally couldn't imagine that the world's busiest theme park is just right over there.
Yeah.
It's right through my ears.
Right through. Yeah. Sorry. Right through your head, Steph. But yeah.
Yeah.
But you can hear it's just. You can kind of hear the train over there, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's just peaceful.
And
No,
tell
it's
them your
beautiful.
moment the other day.
Oh yeah, so I had a Disney dork moment the other day, but it was awesome. So I work pretty close to here, and I was walking to another classroom, and I heard both the train and the steamboat, and I was like, I like this place.
I love it. And to take the ferry to Magic Kingdom is super convenient. We took the buses to Epcot, very convenient. We haven't taken transportation to the other parks, but we've been running to the other parks.
Yeah, you really have been.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is a very, very different vibe, and I'm very here for it. I really
It is.
like this vibe in between. I feel like I could take on more of the parks knowing that I'm coming to a place that's like kind of calm and peaceful. And at night, it's very quiet here.
And it's more spread out too than the other resorts, so you feel like you have some space, and so that's nice.
Yeah, it's super nice. Yeah, you're not on top of each other here for sure.
No.
I think I read somewhere it's 177 acres, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wilderness.
We got moderators, fact checkers in the chat. Tell us. I don't know.
I know something Josh doesn't know.
Oh, you know something.
But
Yeah, I don't know
it's
that one.
really big, and so you kind of get your own little Disney space while you're out here. I love it.
So what amenities here, other than the roads and sidewalks, like what have you really enjoyed? Because like you're here with your dogs, and it's a whole different thing than just like going to the hotel, going to the parks. Like, I mean, it's nice and quiet, but like what, like the dog park, the campfire, like.
I feel like if you, I don't know because I know the reservation system is kind of wild, but you can get food here, which is really nice. We haven't had reservations for food, and we've been able to get meals here. So I feel like that's maybe another little tiny Disney hack is like coming out here for food. And when you guys came, we had dinner together, our little family. It was quick, don't you think? And it wasn't super crowded.
Super quick.
So really good option for food. That's
And
been
they
really
have
nice.
the best
Oh, wow.
dessert on property.
Okay, one of our moderators said it's 750 acres.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa,
It's
see?
really big.
I only had 20%. I was originally on 20%.
Our little loop.
Math.
I can
You did.
math.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you
that's
just
right.
mathed that pretty quick
Thank
there.
you, thank you. But so the amenities, they have these comfort stations, which are the showers and the bathrooms and all that. And I have to say, like when you're camping and you're on the road, like this is as clean and comfortable as it gets.
We've
in
heard that
Disney
from a lot of
property.
people that
Yeah.
they'll, a lot of places are fine, but this is like a level above fine.
Oh, this is totally next level. And I don't think that I've gone to a comfort station a single day and not at some point seen a cast member cleaning.
Cleaning.
So they really stay on top of it, which is really nice.
That's good.
What else?
I mean, for
The
me,
dog park?
What's attractive for me is just you get a different type of experience. So you get like a little bit of a camping, just a different experience than like kind of the other. I haven't stayed at very many of the resorts, but you can go to the campfire. You can go to kind of a
That's a
show,
very
a
unique
dinner
experience for
show.
sure. Yeah.
And they have the sing along for the kids, which is super cute. We can hear them from. We can hear the music and the kids from our little campsite.
Oh yeah, you
which
can
is adorable.
roast marshmallows over there and do s'mores and all kinds of stuff. It's so fun.
The campfire is fun. They have the movie projector up so that you can go out and watch a movie together as a family, which
this is
I know
kinda-
they have at other resorts, but I don't know. There's something about like you're already camping and then you watch an outdoor movie, which is really
It just
fun.
feels like a little like of a slower pace here.
Well, it is. I mean, you could literally take a vacation here and not go to the parks. I mean, I think most people would want to, but you could. There's enough to do here without even going to the parks, which is cool.
And you would feel like you had a Disney camping experience.
Yeah.
You know, you're
and there's
not.
crafts, and we haven't done everything by any means. We've been running, but there's crafts, and I don't know. There's a whole kind of recreational list of activities and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should migrate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. The dock is getting angry over here.
Yes.
It's a little. No,
It's
I think
on
it's.
the move.
I think it's calming down. So, I think we're good. So, okay. So we're talking about 7 continents, and that was.
I
Sorry, I
forgot.
caught you
Remember
mid-drink.
hydrate.
I caught you mid coffee there.
Yeah, that's okay. So before we took on this Run USA tour, I got an invitation to do a totally crazy
You guys are not
challenge.
going to believe this.
And I took it on without any preparation. It was very last minute, but it's called the Great World Race. And I ran a marathon on all 7 continents in just 1 week, in 7 days. So I flew to South Africa and we ran a marathon in Antarctica, which was crazy. A marathon in Cape Town, South Africa. A marathon in Perth, Australia. Then we flew to Istanbul and did a marathon on the Asia side and then a marathon on the Europe side of the waterway. Then we flew to Cartagena, Colombia, marathon 6 in South America, and then we finished in Miami. And it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I would
But you
imagine.
did it.
But you
was
did it.
brutal. But I finished. I ran a marathon in every single continent in a week. And it was like I said, so I officially retired from competitive competition at the New York City Marathon this year in November. And 6 days later, I got the offer to join the Great World Race, and I flew three days later and was in Antarctica racing. So really incredible experience. I kept telling myself this is a challenge, not a race. So I didn't run them all super hard, but I wanted to be able to finish, and I'm really grateful. I did finish. But the travel and the like trying to fuel yourself and eat in between races. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times after I run, I'm not hungry like right away. Your body's kind of weird, right? You'd think you're famished, but it kind of takes a few hours for that to kick in.
Right.
So trying to fuel and eat in between races too was hard. But yeah, I ran all over the world. And then honestly, so Jason had said he wanted to do the Dopey Challenge, and I was like, oh, why do you want to do all that running? Like, I just retired. I got home from the Great World Race, and I was like, I can do anything. Like the Dopey Challenge.
No kidding.
Challenge accepted. I can do it. So yeah, just a really incredible experience. And for those of you, if you've tuned in just recently, my husband and I have a channel, Jenny and Jason Run USA. And if you check us out in the next few days, they're not posted now. Hello, Fairy.
Bye-bye.
We're going to be posting a video. It's about 2 or 3 minutes long on YouTube of each of those days individually, so all 7 days. So if you want to go on the journey with me, 7 continents in 7 days.
Oh, we're going to be watching that.
Yeah, we'll be posting videos. We're just getting the last few edits done. And yeah, like I said, Antarctica, Africa, Australia, Asia, Europe, South America, North America. And it was a grueling experience. And if you guys want to go on that journey with us, we'll be posting them on YouTube, Jenny and Jason Run USA.
Yeah, definitely post those links again in the chat. And if you want to see the more recent stuff they've been doing, again, the Instagram is the same thing.
Yeah, Instagram, exactly. Our Instagram is going to be a lot of like the quicker, like what we're doing today. We're trying to put together videos real quick because it's fun to show you guys like in the moment what we're doing. We are learning a lot from Josh. We are not experts on the live situation, but really admire and appreciate what Josh has done and put together. So we're learning from him. But 1 day delay, Instagram, about 1 week delay on more longer edited videos. You can check us out on YouTube.
Absolutely. Somebody's asking the obvious question: how do you run a marathon in Antarctica, and how was that? Yeah,
that is a very good question. It is
your
a very
story
good
on
question.
that,
Yeah, they don't have regular marathons on Antarctica. They don't have civilization in Antarctica. And so you have to travel with an expedition. So our group of 57 runners did this thing, which was wild. But we were with an expedition crew called White Desert. You can Google it, look them up online. They're a very interesting operation. They do tourism down to Antarctica. That's the reason we do Antarctica first is because it is its own standalone experience. We take a special expedition. There's a special plane. We land on an ice runway in Antarctica.
Wow.
There's only tents and temporary structures because nobody lives there full time.
Right.
And so we showed up. They map out. Oh, this is really interesting and kind of terrifying. They map out a course for us, but it's not just like, oh, we need to like measure a course. And we did loops. It's not just about measuring and getting a marathon in. It's also about testing the ice and making sure that it's safe and stable for us to run on, because I don't want to disappear under the ice in Antarctica.
Also, you're running on ice. That's a whole different thing.
Snow and ice, yeah. So it's the area of Antarctica we're on is frozen, so it's mostly ice, but then they have snowpack on top. And they groom the course for us.
Okay.
But a couple of things I didn't know about Antarctica. Maybe some of you guys know, but first of all, we were at elevation. It's like 3,000 feet, which was really interesting. And it's not flat. Like I would have thought, oh, we're going out to some ice sheet, and doesn't ice just like freeze flat? I don't know.
No, I know. I wouldn't know either.
And so and there's like some kind of mountainous areas that we could see off in the distance. So really beautiful, but maybe this isn't like the right thing to say, but this is the truth.
No, truth is good.
It's kind of boring.
Okay.
Because you go out to Antarctica and there's nothing there. It's just white, like snow and ice as far as you can see. And the first like 6 or 7 miles, it's mind-blowing that you're at the bottom of the earth. I mean, I'm literally like thinking of the funny things, like I'm upside down compared to my family right now.
Right,
like,
no, exactly.
It's fun, like, right? But you're bundled up because, believe it or not, it's cold. It's very, very cold.
Your dad's on here. He says, ask Jenny if racing in Antarctica was the coldest race of her life or if running in Spencer, Iowa was even colder.
I have trained in Spencer, Iowa, and it was colder in Spencer, Iowa when I ran there.
But it's also summer in Antarctica.
Yes,
true.
Spring in Antarctica. But I've never been out in that kind of cold for 3.5 hours.
That's a lot.
That was hard. 3.5 hours in the cold in Antarctica. It was real.
And you said the wind burn was a real factor. We talked about that last time.
Yeah, the air is really dry. And which means the snow is really dry too. So
and you train in Colorado where it is also dry, and
it's
it was
dry,
drier.
but this was another level. So the most important thing is to keep your skin covered. First of all, there's a couple of factors like the sun and the reflection off the snow. Like you want to make sure that your skin is covered because you can get pretty bad sunburn.
Oh yeah, from the reflection.
Exactly.
Didn't even think about that.
And there is like a little. We were lucky there wasn't a lot of wind, but the air is so dry. So I had my face and my eyes, and you really have to wear eye protection. But the people that didn't cover their faces, they had terrible windburn. And I actually was watching the video. If you guys check out our 2 or 3 minute video of Antarctica that we're going to be posting in the next few days, you can see at the very, very end of the video, like the side of my face is kind of like pocked with like purple marks. And that's from the wind, from the extreme dry wind. And so some of the people that were on the trip that didn't have their faces covered, their skin like started to peel over the next few days because
it's like really wind. Sunburn. It's
it's like
sunburn.
Yeah, it's wind and the sun. It's just really hard on your skin. So all those people that are doing science in Antarctica, don't forget your sunscreen.
Yeah, for sure.
It was really an intense experience.
Oh, I bet.
And that was day 1, and then we had 6 marathons.
You started in Antarctica.
Yeah. So hardest thing I think I've ever done. But like we were saying earlier about getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new, I would say think twice before you do the Great World Race. It was pretty extreme. But you finish something that's hard and you just have a different frame of mind on what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And that's how I came back from that experience. I just thought, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Like I can do anything. If I can do this, if I can travel all over the world and still manage all this running. It was 184 miles in a week.
That's insane.
184 miles. So, then you start doing like, I could run from Boulder to Colorado Springs. It's just mind-blowing, like what that really means.
Oh, for sure. No, that's insane.
Really cool
Not safely, but you could.
So I ran all around the world, and now I've run all around Disney World.
There you go. No, that's awesome. And honestly, obviously you're going to be throughout the year running around the whole country. And now that does include Alaska and Hawaii, I guess.
Yes. So we are going to fly to Alaska. We could drive, but it's just such a long... Okay, this is a little bit funny. I kept telling my husband, I was like, we're going to learn so much about the U.S. doing even just geography. Like, you know where the states are, but you learn them so much better when you're driving. The first thing I learned about America in getting ready for this trip was how far away Alaska is.
Yeah.
It is further than you think.
Oh, yeah.
It takes days to drive up there. So we're going to
I've heard that's like... I don't know about dangerous, but it's just an intense drive. There's not a lot of places to stop, and you really have to be prepared.
Yeah,
it's not like just going out on the interstate and thinking there's going to be a gas station every couple miles.
No, you are dry. I mean, Alaska really still has wilderness. So we're going to fly up, and one of the reasons we want to fly up is because we're going to go in the winter, and we're going to be there March 1st for the start of the Iditarod in Anchorage. So we're really excited about that. A ceremonial start. the real race actually starts in Willow, which is north of Anchorage, the following day.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll be there for the ceremonial start. And then we're flying to Hawaii, and that'll be really fun too. That's going to be later in the
on.
year.
Later
Later
on,
in the year, yeah.
And we do want to do the drive, but we want to do it when we have more time to spend in Alaska. We don't
Oh,
want
for
to
sure.
get
Well,
there,
that's next year's
do that, and
project.
come back. And that might be next
It's
year.
going to be like Run World.
Oh, and by the way,
Yeah,
Jason, you guys can stand over here, so you're not
I know,
you're not
we
like
are-
squinting. Sorry.
We're fighting the sun.
Yeah,
here.
sorry. Let's go over here. I feel bad.
No worries.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like, I feel so bad.
Say you wanted to be well lit.
Right.
Well, they have been. So now you can rest your eyes a little bit. Yeah.
But yeah, basically we're doing Tuesday to Sunday in each state, with Monday being the travel day. And so sometime in the future, the idea is to maybe go to Alaska, stay for longer, and then do the beautiful drive through Canada. And there's some awesome national parks, both on the Canadian side and then
Oh, that's awesome.
in the US. But this time around, we're going to fly and then fly back. So.
Very
I'd
cool.
love to go. It was cute. The couple in Wisconsin that we hitchhiked with
Yes.
said that they had done the drive to Alaska and they went up there and spent a month. Was it that couple that was telling us
I
that?
think so, yeah.
Yeah. And they had spent a month up there in the summer and they just said it was incredible. So that's one of the other dreams. But this is what's fun. You said we visited kind of the Destin area. We want to return there. We're talking about doing a month in Alaska eventually. We're going to finish this year around the U.S. and our bucket list is only going to grow.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to get shorter. It's going to get longer.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a
Yeah,
good thing. You've
yeah,
got things to look
yeah.
forward to and all that. So,
Yeah.
do you have, by the way, while we're in the shade here, do you want to show them that part of the video that you put together so they can go
Oh,
check
yeah.
out the rest of it on your Instagram? You can just play it from your phone, and I'll show it here. And
Yeah,
we can
put it
be
on
low tech, but yeah, just turn this.
Yeah. might as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Give you guys a little taste of what you can find on Instagram if you follow
Yeah,
us.
it's a super fun, but it just shows like it's kind of a montage of their race experiences.
And we did this for each race, for the 5K, the 10K, the half, and the marathon.
So this
we
one's-
put together videos of what the
Okay.
experience is like.
So this is just the marathon.
Yeah.
This is the Disney World Marathon as seen through our
Right here, let me show you your
GoPro.
channel real quick. There we
Oh
go.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
we
where
got
you
it.
can follow us.
Okay, here we go. It's fine.
You got to see some of these characters.
That's my favorite.
Main Street.
I love that.
Jenny hyping up the crowd.
We got that's one of the professional pictures. Those are
Yeah.
so
Those
great
two
of
are
both,
the-
of both of you guys.
Yeah. Tron.
It's Pooh.
Pooh Bear. Jenny's super excited.
I was so excited.
Donald and Daisy.
And then the sun came up.
Oh, there you are by the boardwalk.
Back into Epcot.
I love it.
And then just
I love that.
approaching the finish line. Step for step. Together.
And you can't forget, we earned our ears.
There they are.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
no. Oh, there I was gonna say.
There's the I'm
That's
gonna go
one
take a
of
nap
two.
now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Guys, you gotta go check that out on their Instagram.
So we
though.
hope that
So-
gets you guys excited.
Oh, here, show
about
them your
what's
main page
possible
though. I'll
here.
show that way they
Okay.
can really, just the main, your main profile there,
Yeah.
and
so
then I'll
it's
put that on there. There it is, right there. So
Jenny
Instagram.
and Jason Run USA.
So yeah, go follow. They got 3,281 followers right now, but let's make that more. So we can do that.
Well, and you're also on what, Facebook, YouTube, and what? There was one more. What is it?
Well, if you're interested in supporting our channel, we do have a Patreon, and yeah, we're hoping to. I don't know. I don't know if other people experience it. It's hard to ask for people to support what you're doing, even though it makes a big difference.
No, it took us a long time to start. People that haven't been around for a while don't remember this, but I mean, we didn't start the Patreon until we've been asked several times. They're like, "Why don't you have a
Yeah.
Patreon?" And yeah, so now it's
so we do have a Patreon. We have some things we're excited to kind of deliver behind the scenes to our Patreon followers. So if you love what we're doing, if you want to see this energy kind of sprinkled around the U.S. And you want to support us, you can go onto Patreon. Same handle,
Yep.
Jenny and Jason Run USA. And we're hoping to deliver some fun stuff to our Patreon
This is
followers.
the end of week 1, so there's a lot more to come.
Oh,
49
for sure, yeah.
weeks.
Just getting
49
started.
weeks
Just getting
to go.
started.
I love this. No, it's so great that you're able to start here and kind of your kind of hometown, at least for Jenny, and so that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Hometown number 1.
Yes, exactly.
This you're gonna have 49 hometowns.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
So-
Well, so guys, I'll tell you what. Before, as we're kind of wrapping things up here, let's field some questions for Jenny and Jason, and maybe we'll do this here. I'll get my. We can just maybe sit down, and I'll just ask them this way. We can all rest you guys especially can rest your legs a little bit.
Yes.
So we'll do this. There we go. And and Mara just posted the link. Very cool. Thank you so much. I ran 5 miles once trying to impress my neighbors that's so funny. Okay. So, you guys love the video.
You bringing a chair over?
Subscribe.
All
Yep,
right.
there we go.
Oh, I'm okay. No, you sit with me. I'm good. I'm gonna sit on the edge anyway.
Yep. There we go.
The Edge.
Cool.
Where did we come up with that? Is that song?
The Edge, that's how Lady Gaga sings it. I'm on the edge.
Yeah.
It's like Justin Timberlake, it's going to be May. I always tell people though, like as a music person, like I understand because you can't say me. It sounds weird, so that's why.
Yeah, that's funny.
So guys, okay, so this is your chance. Now I haven't been reading a lot of chats. We've been listening and talking and chatting, to hear their amazing story. But now it's your turn. If you have questions about anything Run Disney, running, or just about their journey in general, go ahead. We've got the first one, shoes. What brand does she use?
So I was sponsored by New Balance for 12 years, and then most recently I did all of my marathoning in Puma shoes. So that's where I have the most experience, is in those brands. I'm no longer a sponsored athlete, so we have no affiliation or tie anymore. I think for beginners, a lot of people love Hoka. That's a good place to start if you're going to get started running. Also, Brooks is a really reliable brand for beginners and for everyone. I mean, there's all kinds of really experienced runners that love Brooks. So those are some places to start. But my recommendation to you is Google and find a run specialty store in your area. Your local independently owned run specialty store, those are the places where people are passionate about getting people in the right footwear. And footwear is one of those things where you actually do get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I know it's brutal thinking about dropping over $100 for a pair of shoes, but the shoes are made with different materials and they are better for running. You're
for
going to
sure.
have a better experience. If you're very first getting started and you feel like, your $40 or $60 or $80 shoes from a big box are kind of not cutting it, I really encourage you. Your experience is going to be better if you get in a good quality pair of running shoes.
Yeah, you don't need much to get started, but a good pair of running shoes is key.
Yeah, if it feels hard to spend the money, I think that's the only real thing you gotta have.
You're good for approximately 300 to 500 miles.
Oh, wow.
So they're gonna last a long time.
They're gonna last a long
if you
time.
get a good pair. And then the run specialty stores, not only can you get good gear, but you're gonna get plugged into a community. So if you want to join a group, if you want to join a club of any ability level, those are the people that will be able to get you hooked up.
And I know it's so tempting
in.
to think that there's a fit runner that's going to run 8 minutes a mile, and
That's how I
not
would feel
true.
because I don't know a lot about it, but I've been in those places before, even as a non-runner, non-athlete, and they're so nice and so accommodating.
Yeah, and a lot of people start this journey by walking. They come looking for walking shoes, and that's a perfect place to start. So I can't tell you enough. I've had so much experience in run specialty, and the people that own these stores just have a passion for getting people started. And so if you're thinking about it, I know it can feel a little bit like walking into a gym for the first time and you look around and you think, I don't even know where to get started.
Right.
But this is it's a completely different experience because the people on the floor are there ready to help you with everything. And so, check out a running specific store, get a pair of walking shoes, get a pair of running shoes, let them help you get the right fit. There's all kinds of little, in the weeds things, like if you're a pronator or if you like a softer shoe or a stiffer shoe, they can help you with all of that. And if you get in the right thing that feels right for you, you're going to have a happier experience.
And I went to a place in Lakeland when we used to live there called Fit Niche, and we did, that was where So yeah, whatever. What was so funny is when we got to talking to them and told them about you, and they like brought out that poster.
Yeah,
they had the poster. They were like,
"Oh,
yeah.
if you go to a Run
It was
Specialty
so
store, you might see me." Yeah, I have some posters and some ads in different stores, which is
That
really
was fun.
fun.
But I actually went there because I have a really high arch, and they did a whole computer scan of my foot and found the right shoe to support me. And yeah, it's cool to go to these other discount stores and whatever, but the bottom line was it was worth the extra money because your feet are so important. You know,
Yeah.
whether you're a professional or just a casual walker, or you walk 15 miles in a park a day like I do, you know, you still need something really supportive.
Yeah, and like I said, they're made with different material that is really meant to hold up and really support you. So it's a good idea to check that out. If you're in the Central Florida area, I got to shout out my Track Shack.
Yes.
It's where I bought my very first pair of running shoes. And 30 years later, I'm back. I still do events at Track Shack. Love them. Incredible family of people. And like Jason said, if you need a community, it's an incredible place to get plugged in and find friends and find people that will join you on this journey. Whether you're trying to do those 16-minute miles for the cutoff of Run Disney, or you're a speedy person and you want to go a little faster, they're ready for all of you.
Awesome.
Also, pro tip, if you're buying new shoes to come to Disney, break them in before you get here.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to
Don't
have
come in brand new
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody races in brand new shoes. Very few people race in brand new shoes. You really want to have some training miles in them, have them broken in, even if you just walk in them for a few days before you take them out on a race course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had another question here. This is more Olympics based. It says, I don't know if you're able to watch much of the past Olympics. What was your favorite race from the past Olympics in the running category?
Oh, that's a good question.
And he says the men's 1500 meter was epic finish.
Yes, Cole Hawker came and won that. It was such a huge moment for the United States to have another gold medalist after Matthew Centrowitz took the gold medal 8 years ago in Rio. So the men's 1500, the U.S. is on fire. Which is really exciting to watch. But I think Jason's right. I think the men's steeple for us was just so thrilling. We had a U.S. man take second. He had the silver medal. It was a really unlikely medalist and victory. And I think even you could see while he was running the race, he couldn't believe it.
Well, he just put himself in the right position and then just never relinquished that, top three spot, the podium medal spot. And the longer the race went, it's like, he might do it. I think he's gonna hold on. Yeah, it was the only race that I was like yelling and screaming at and we still know most of the runners, in some kind of personal relationship. We don't know, I think his name's Kenneth Brooks. We don't know him personally, but it was the only person that I was like, go. So,
Good, how are you?
Google it, and worth a watch for sure.
Well, talk about the difference between
I was gonna say, you used to run some steeplechase, right?
And the 15.
So the steeple is different because you go over barriers, which are not hurdles, because the barriers do not move. If you hit them, they do not move. You move. And it's a little short of 2 miles. It's close to a 2-mile race. And over the course of the 2 miles, the runners go over 35 barriers, 35 jumps, and 7 of which are water jumps. So you jump, onto the barrier and then off into a water pit. And it's just a really wild race. I mean, it is. I did it for 4 years in college. My 2008 Olympics was as a steeplechaser. And I don't know, it's just really dynamic because you have both the running, the endurance side of it, and then that explosive element of having to jump over the barriers.
A lot of jostling going in and positioning between the barriers.
Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously there's the technique for hurdles, but this is totally different because you've got the water aspect too that you have to deal with.
Yeah, and it's the only race where there's a water hazard, and it's just kind of, it's kind of wild. It's kind of
random.
It is kind of random. It is kind of, even to people in track and field, it's kind of random.
Like, it's random.
So now, you have to jump over the water, or you get your shoe wet?
Your shoe gets wet, unless
you have to run with one wet shoe.
Yeah. So the women jump off of a 30-inch barrier and the men's 36. So the men are a little bit more powerful, and they're jumping off of a higher barrier. So a lot of the men can clear the pit. Not all. It's still unusual for them to clear the pit.
It's actually, yeah.
But women really can't. Even if you're really powerful, you don't clear the pit. So almost everyone, you get 2 feet in the water.
Wow, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
speaking of which, that's a good segue to the next question. We talked about shoes, but do you have any sock recommendations? I struggle with the occasional blisters when I walk long distances.
Yes. Socks can be tricky because, the really thin, kind of silky ones sometimes just don't hold up, but then you get a thicker sock and you can cause more friction. I like again, it's another one of those things where it's like, if you spend just a little bit more, you're going to get a better experience. There are performance socks, and you can buy them anywhere. You don't have to go to a running store. But the ones that are designed to fit your foot, and you buy them in a pack of 2 or in a pack of 1, those are going to be better. And they have, I don't know if there's names for these socks. I don't think there's names for them. But when you have those ankle socks and then they have a lip on the edge, that's meant to keep your socks up above your shoe so that they don't slide down into your heel and then give you blisters. So if I'm looking for a pair of walking shoes or running shoes, definitely look for those socks that, if you're an ankle sock person, that has that kind of lip at the edge of them to keep the socks up. Never ever, fashion is out the window when it comes to wanting good performance stuff for walking and running. So I often wear socks that go above my ankle, just so that you have that extra security that it's not going to slip down and cause blisters around your Achilles and your heel.
Mine have the little lip on them that I use, and they're called Belega or something is what I use, and they're really good. Yeah,
those are really good ones. Yeah, all the brands
or Balaga. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Balaga. Yeah, all the brands make them. All the running shoe brands make them.
Yeah.
And then for running in colder weather, Smart Wool has really good socks, and that's actually what I wore when I was in Antarctica.
So in Florida, under 60 degrees, it's cold weather?
Yeah, exactly. That's when you put the Smart Wool socks on here. Yeah.
David wants to know if you've run the Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati. I don't know.
We have not.
I've heard of it.
A flying pig race. We got to put that on the table.
There you go.
For Ohio.
I've
If you're
run
going to be in
Cowtown
Cincinnati, you got to go to the
Marathon.
zoo,
Flying
too.
Pig.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Mayor, they are husband and wife. Yes,
Oh,
if you missed that earlier,
we
yes.
are.
Well, now, how long have you guys been married?
We've been married 14 years and going on forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We're very, yeah. We have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Lots of fun.
Good answer.
Yeah. No, we have a good time. We're lucky because our work is really different, but our interests overlap a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, and speaking of, you're going to be sharing a van together for a while and everything. And so, do you have a calendar or list when you're going to be in different states? Is that on your website, or where is that at?
The first 8 states are on the Instagram.
Yep. So we have pinned on Instagram. We're going to try to give people about a month or a month and a half of heads up when we're headed somewhere. We know our route for the year, but we also just know that, things can come up and potential for car trouble, or if we have things come up, we don't want people to feel, oh, we're watching a bird have a snack. Somebody's having lunch over
There's a
here.
whole fish over there. He's
See,
got a whole
this is
fish.
what
Wild
you get
Kingdom.
at Fort Wilderness.
Okay, Josh, zoom it. I can hold it. I can't zoom. Pivot.
There
Oh,
you
just kidding.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry.
I couldn't bend that direction.
go. It's snack time.
Here, I got him.
That was literally a whole fish with a...
Oh, just when I zoomed, he did not. He's camera shy. Anyway, he had a whole fish.
Yeah,
Whole fish. Very cool.
Camp Wilderness experience right there.
Let me see what other questions we have here. Somebody asked earlier, what age did you start running? That could be for both of you.
We started running really young. I started running in elementary school, actually. And amazing, just public school PE teacher said, this girl has a lot of energy. We gotta get her onto a running club. So I started running really young.
Yeah, I started 8th grade or 9th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that it was a PE teacher. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I also want to mention, neither of us started in our very first running years, super competitive.
No,
it was really fun at the start.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, when
it's
you're
still
just starting.
fun, but I do think there's more and more, there's so much pressure on even high schoolers to have these amazing performances, and I don't really feel like I had a lot of pressure until I was in college.
Yeah.
Well, and now, see, now you're retired, so now the pressure is gone again, and
Oh,
you just
yeah.
get to have fun.
And I feel like a middle schooler again.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see, what should we do post-run walk? Oh, that's a good one. What is your cool-down routine?
Okay, so I had mentioned earlier that snuggling with puppies,
Yes.
which we did when we came back. That's the number one recovery advice. But give some recovery advice as soon as you're done with the race.
Refueling, so nutrition. So especially as you tax your body more and more, putting stuff back in to help you recover, because it's a lot like lifting weights or anything where you tear down the muscle, but then that recovery phase is what gets you better. Protein and carbohydrates, and Jenny can speak to the nutrition specifics a little better than I can. Doing something to cool down. So if you're doing a 3-mile run, even like a half-mile cool down or a 1-mile cool down or walk to give your body a chance to literally just kind of cool down. And then stretching is really good after running. But the two key things, stretching and eating, but then the sleep is a big component as well. Those 3 things are kind of the pillars of being able to recover after a run.
Yeah, I know after you do a race like the Disney Marathon, they have you walking. You know, you go through and you get your Mylar blanket, and then you get your medal, and then you keep walking and you go to get food, and then you keep walking to get to the buses and the gear check. And I know it can feel like, oh my gosh, why are we walking so far? But they're really doing you a favor, because if you're running any distance, whether it's a 5K or a marathon, and then you finish and you sit down, especially in a day like today where it's a little bit chilly, it's physically going to be hard just to get back up, even for those of us that are experienced running.
What
like,
did we say earlier? Motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion.
Oh, yeah,
lotion.
I love that.
And so even just that little bit of walking, it really does let your body kind of like stabilize and cool down a little bit. It's really good for you. So a little bit of walking or light jogging after a more strenuous effort is good for recovery. And then Jason nailed it. Nutrition right away. As soon as you can handle some food, get food in you. And real food is always going to be ultimately better than gels or protein powders or things like that. The reason that a lot of us take a protein powder after a hard run is because you're just not hungry for real food. You can't handle real food. So if that's something that works for you, that's great. But real food is always going to be better, or like the gold standard.
Once
and then
you get ready to do it. Yeah, I was going to say, I think you've been running that long, your body's really just been focused on like keeping you running, and so the digestion is not really happening the same. So I think that's
exactly. And so even I don't eat real food right away because my digestion has been downgraded.
Right.
It's not the priority, and so I'll take a protein powder or something like that just to like start the refueling process as soon as possible.
That's great.
And then you add in like some fruits for extra, is fruit a big thing?
And what real food does, especially fruits and vegetables, is it gets fiber into your system. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the carbs and the protein you take right away is going to be metabolized and digested super quick. It's getting energy immediately to your muscles. But if you take something with fiber, it's going to slow down that process and just make it a slower release energy for you. So that's why a combination of the two is really kind of key.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And sleep. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
I know we are Americans. I know how hard it is to get a good night's sleep.
Oh,
Even
it's
when
so hard.
You're a pro athlete and that's part of your priority, it's still hard. We just live in a culture that just doesn't facilitate prioritizing sleep, but it's a big pillar to just health and wellness in general. Any night you can get a good 7 to 9 hours. That is huge for recovery.
So, and going into back to the professional side of things, and you can both answer this one. Somebody asked, what was your favorite race? What was one of your favorite races outside of the Olympics?
Oh, yeah, you go for it. You've run 21 marathons, so.
Yeah, well, I'll answer one of my favorite races of Jenny's to go to, and she went to a lot of the same ones. Zurich, the Diamond League. So the professional circuit is called the Diamond League. Zurich always put on an amazing event.
So if you need an excuse to go to Switzerland,
when you're in Switzerland, you might want to check it out.
Yeah.
But no, for my own racing, in terms of marathoning, Boston and New York are just like top notch. It's just tough to even like break into the top 3 if you're not Boston or New York. But outside of those, they call them world
majors,
world major marathons. There's a race in Duluth, Minnesota called Grandma's Marathon.
Oh, I love that.
And that one's one of my favorites. So yeah.
I agree with you. I think New York is really special. Like Boston is so historic and people know about it. And there's, all Marathon Monday, they shut down basically most of Boston for the marathon. So that's fun. But New York, there's just nothing like, you get to run through all 5 boroughs.
Oh.
It's 50,000 people. I think this year it was like 55,000 people that ran the marathon there. So just logistically, it's unbelievable what New York pulls off.
That's a sports stadium full of people.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Imagine a huge stadium and every single person there is going to run a marathon that day. So, and same, really similar to Disney, there's people of all abilities that do it. So if you're wanting to get into running or if you are into running and you're kind of putting together a bucket list, I think both of us would say the New York City Marathon needs to be on it.
We'd be remiss if we didn't plug the Boulder 10K.
Oh,
in our hometown
yeah.
of Boulder. If you're looking for something a little shorter, but like a really cool spot to visit is Boulder. And they do a 10K on Memorial Day. So you start
So you
on
may
one
not
side
have
of
snow.
town. What was that?
Yeah. It's usually not
yeah.
snowy. No, it's, yeah.
But you finish in the football stadium.
Folsom Field.
Folsom Fields, home of the Buffaloes.
Nice.
And they do a flyover, and then so you finish there, and then everyone stays in the stadium and watch the pros finish. So the pros are the last wave of the day, and they do a whole
Memorial Day
program.
Oh, how cool is that?
Which
So they
is really neat.
do the race kind of, I don't want to say backwards,
They
but kind of in
do.
reverse order so that the pros can have a really big audience to cheer them on at the end.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the
And it's
Citizens
big.
Race,
There's a lot of people.
50,000 people, I think. I think it's
50,000
similar.
Maybe
It's
one of the
huge.
largest 10Ks.
Yeah. But I want to elaborate a little bit on the memorial celebration that they do. It is, every year I go and I sit in the stadium and I cry because it's just so moving. We're going on this Run USA tour. We really want like a bit of a patriotic feel to what we're doing because, I represented this country for 20 years and it meant so much to me, and we want to explore what all of that meant. And the Memorial Day celebration at the Boulder is really moving for me as an American. They commission enlisted people during that, or I don't think it's officers. I don't remember exactly. And then they have just several different like opportunities to honor both veterans and active duty. And then they talk about the parachuting.
Yeah. So each branch of the service, there's a parachuter that glides in, and then they circle around the stadium and they play the music of each.
That's so incredible that they can aim like that. Like I feel pretty awesome if I jumped out of a plane and landed. But to land in a specific place.
And some of them come in like very cautiously, and it's like a nice graceful glide into the 50-yard line. And some of them are like coming in and they go, and then they speed in and they're showing off.
It's
amazing.
a really, and like Jason said, there's a flyover. They play a lot of beautiful music. And it's just a great way to all be together, watch the pros race, and then really celebrate the American Memorial Day experience.
I love the fact that you talked about, too, like representing the country for so long, and now you kind of get to go see the whole country that you've been representing. So that's so cool.
Yeah. It meant a lot to me. I was 17 the first time I wore USA across my chest, the first time I made a team. And it felt really significant then. And honestly, I can say it never wore off. Every time I put on a USA uniform, I really felt like this is exactly what it means to do something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And that was a real privilege in my career.
Yeah. And this is a good segue here. This question. Okay, go ahead.
While you're talking about that, I know you grew up running here, and then you had to transition to running in the high country. Like the super high country.
5,000 feet. Yeah.
Yes, and then talk about the difference between running in high altitude versus here. Like, how do you transition your body and your mindset for that?
Jason,
Lot
that's a
of
bee. You may want to shoot him off of you.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
You're just too
We'll
sweet.
watch him.
He's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye.
So if you're gonna run a race, I would recommend staying sea level, which is a benefit of the Disney races. It's at sea level, which is good.
There he is.
Oh, hi, little bee. We'll see if he stays friendly.
Yeah, hopefully he stays friendly. We
Yeah.
don't necessarily want him in your eyes, in your face, though.
But running at
real Disney
elevation,
bee.
a lot of athletes go to elevation to train because it really does help
on my
your
head now,
aerobic
maybe?
system. And you can just get a lot of training benefit from being up there. So it's not unusual for elite athletes to be up at elevation and do endurance training up there. And then you come down to sea level to race, which is an advantage.
Oh, Citrus Roll Family says she's done the boulder in Boulder. That's cool.
Oh, yay! Yeah, then I'm
Boulder,
sure
Boulder.
you had
One
hopefully a good experience like we described.
So this is a really good question here, and this is something that you could only get if you'd ask somebody who's done this professionally for so long. There's a lot that goes into training the body for these events, but what steps do they take to train the mind for something like the Olympics, for example?
Oh, I love that question. I was saying earlier that I think people take for granted that it's like, oh, if you're good at something, then of course you believe you can do it. And that is just not true. Like, you stand on the starting line shaking in your boots every single time. And I've come to describe to my family, like, they never let you win. Your competitors never let you win. Like, it's a battle and it's a fight every single time. So a lot of Olympians, it's funny, it's kind of the reverse. It's a little bit counterintuitive. I personally would think, like, if you're an underdog and nobody's paying attention to you, it's like scary to think you're there and there's all these titans of the sport.
Sure.
But I think it's actually the people that are the titans that have had all the success that they have a lot more of the pressure. And often those are the ones, and this was my experience for sure. That's when you've had that huge moment and then you have to come and hope to repeat that. That's when sports psychology becomes really critical.
Yeah.
As you're incrementally working your way up, it's actually kind of nice to feel like, oh, no one's really paying attention to me. And if I can sweep in and do something special, then that's just icing on top. The USA team has an incredible team of sports psychologists. A lot of athletes have their own people that they work with. But the mental preparation, I would say more so than I would ever have known outside of sport, it is really a team effort. It's your coach, it's your family, it's, your spouse. In the sport, we call them athlete support, like the person that's there for you, which for me is my husband, and a sports psychologist. They are your village, they're your community. And I think the most important thing they bring to the table is that when you don't see the work and the talent that you have, when you don't have that belief, they're the ones that see it. And so it's really important to have a support team that when you're feeling unsure, they're very sure. They know the good that you can bring to any situation. And that's a real benefit. And I imagine that that's true outside of sports too.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I saw Jenny do really well on the mental preparation side of things was I think she was more prepared for different scenarios on race day than, I mean, I'm biased, but than anyone else. So she did a lot of mental visualization.
I was going to ask about visualization.
Yeah,
I do that before performances
really
too.
believe in that.
She did a lot, and it's not just visualizing, because you can visualize, oh, I'm going to have a great day. But what if you don't? Like, what if something goes wrong?
No, it's good to visualize. If you're like, I would think about in a recital, if I lose my place,
Yes.
or
yeah.
if I stumble over a passage, how am I going to just reset and go, here I am, and you just
Yeah.
keep going.
Exactly.
And it's not that you dwell on the negative or whatever.
Right.
You don't want to put that into
No.
your head, because but you're prepared for how different things might play out.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of studying up on, in this case, her competitors. So you learned their tendencies and how things might play out based on who was in the race.
Yeah.
Based on their most recent results, based on their historical performances in championship races. And all that
That's
has
a lot of homework.
life applications.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It really is a little bit of a chess game, because it was, I mean, she was silver medal twice. And in those races, she was, a 10th away from the gold medal a couple of
Yeah.
times?
Wow.
But also, you were 2 tenths away from being fourth.
From being
no
no
one wants to be
medalist
fourth.
at all. Yeah.
Well, I think
so
that's-
it's just razor thin, and
Right.
that mental prep is a great question.
Well,
because
people
mental
don't
prep is
think
huge.
about that either. They think about, oh, it was so close to first. Yeah, but you also could have been so close to not having a place at all. Not having a medal at all. So I think that's good. I love that you put that. It's like you're thinking of the positive. Like there's so many people that wanted this, and here I am on this, and it's
The last thing I'll say about the mental preparation is the most important thing is the story you're telling yourself. And I really like at different moments to check in with myself and say, okay, am I keeping my own? Because we all are telling ourselves stuff in our head. We all have an internal dialogue. What are you narrating in this moment? And I like to check in with myself and say, am I keeping it positive? There's always 2 sides to a coin. And, when it's super rainy, are you really focused on how cold and rainy it is? Or
Right.
if like today, the road was kind of dark at certain points. And I think people were a little bit down when it wasn't all bright and happy or whatever. And I thought, but like the contrast is good. Like if it's dark and kind of lonely now, that means I'm going to really enjoy getting into Magic Kingdom or to see the next character or something. So I like to check in because we all go negative. There's never somebody that's positive all the time. But if you can kind of like recognize that and be self-aware, and I can like feel myself turn towards positive again. It's really, really helpful.
Yeah, and people talk a lot about like know your why. So I won't dwell on that, but like short mantras helped me a lot. So a mantra can change from one race to the next, but whatever block you're in, whatever race you're getting ready for, having a short and sweet mantra that you can repeat to yourself that's positive and encouraging and reminds you that you're prepared and you can do this. Whatever that might be.
Yeah.
is
What's
helpful.
what's one of the mantras that you used?
Put me on the spot there a little bit.
I know, I'm sorry.
And for me, it was like, and this is advice that someone else gave me, to just keep it short, because sometimes I like to overthink it, and I'll make it long, or I'll make it more than it needs to be. But it can be as simple as I'm strong and prepared. I'm strong and prepared.
Yeah.
And then when you don't feel strong, or you feel like, oh, things are falling apart, it's like, no, I'm strong and prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love that because that's not like I have to win. Like no matter what place you're in, you can be strong, you can be brave.
Yeah.
Be brave is a big one that we've used over the years. There are races I've been in where I know that I'm not likely to win, but I want to be the strongest, best competitor possible. So one of my mantras that I loved over the years is be hard to beat. Be hard to beat.
Wow.
So if someone's going to beat me, I just want to make it as hard for them as possible and get the satisfaction out of that.
And sometimes that's first, and no one beat you, or
sometimes it's third, and I think I was third or fourth or fifth, but man, they
person
had to
behind
work
you,
for it. They
yeah.
had to work for it.
Well, and
yeah.
sometimes that's the mental game, right?
Yeah.
It's not just on the track. It's the be hard to beat mentally, be kind, be gracious, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to really check in and be like, okay, I ran my best race, but you know, I'm going to still treat all the other competitors with the same kindness that I would before the starting line.
So if you want more of this type of conversation,
Yes,
that's what we're going to
right.
be doing on Patreon, actually. So,
I love that.
The Run USA Tour is mostly going to be about the fun and the adventures and the travel part. But Patreon, for one of those tiers that we're doing, is going to be a little bit more of like a masterclass with Jenny, all the lessons
I love
she's
that.
learned.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to dial in on what does it really take to do this at a high level. And I think running is the great metaphor for life.
Yeah.
I mean, running really is just one avenue in which to learn all of these character, mental toughness, and, you know, physical readiness. And it doesn't, I mean, I love the question about mental toughness because it doesn't matter how physically ready you are. If you get on the starting line and you don't have what it takes to really throw yourself into something hard, then it doesn't matter. You gotta have the brain for it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. So we have one more is just talking about the majors. How many of the majors have you guys done? Have you run to London?
Oh, good question. I've only done 2 majors.
Jimmy's 2 for 2.
There's 7. I think they just added Australia, so maybe 8 now. But yeah, there's majors all over the world. But Jason's done London.
I've done London. Yeah, I did London.
Sorry.
I think it was a record high
Temperature.
heat temperature. So I did that in 2017.
So
But
it was
done
challenging,
Boston, New York, London. I've not done Chicago
Yes, you have.
Sorry, I've
In
not done.
2011, you ran
I have done
Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah, Chicago, Boston,
So
New
you've
York,
done 4
London.
majors.
I've not done Berlin or Tokyo. I think I'm forgetting one. Maybe there's 6, and they're adding a 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should know. We should know all the majors.
Yeah.
If it was a test, I could do it.
Well, no, it kind of put you on the spot, so
Yeah.
just like remember them all memorized. But
Yeah.
So okay, let me see if there's any other ones. Oh, so I don't know how much this is related, but somebody just asked, would you want to do an amazing race on TV? But I think that's kind of like a whole different thing, isn't it? They do like a scavenger hunt type thing.
It's so funny you asked because I auditioned years ago
Did
for
you really?
Amazing Race with my sister Emily.
Oh, that's so
Oh
fun.
my gosh.
And so
she too would be
anyone on
unbeatable.
there that has any connections with Amazing Race, we would love to do it.
Yes.
So, okay, here's the thing.
There you go, Victoria.
Jason and I would not be good TV because we like each other so much and we're good problem solvers. Me and my sister would be good
They would
TV.
bring the conflict.
Yes.
Well, that's because on TV, if everybody's getting
Yes.
along, then nobody watches,
Exactly.
right?
And she likes to say that we would be great TV because she would be on the edge of a cliff afraid to jump off and I would push her. And that is 100% true. That is 100% true.
Oh my goodness. Amy says, I just did London and I'm doing Berlin in September. I did the Boston record-breaking heat year. Wow.
Oh, wow. You've had
Good
some
job,
tough
Amy.
ones.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that there's some runners in here too.
runners,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and Berlin is a fast course. A lot of people go there to get their PR. Berlin and Chicago are kind of known for being faster courses. So,
And New York and Boston are hillier.
yeah.
Tokyo is good.
This has been so interesting, inspiring. Thank you, Jenny and Jason, for sharing
Oh,
your
you're
experiences.
welcome.
Yeah. Well, there was one up here earlier I wanted to get, and it was just I'm trying to find it. Sorry, there's a lot of comments, which is good. Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see. Switzerland's home to the IOC. Yep, that's true.
That's
That
right.
is very
Yep,
true.
you can go to, and the Olympic Museum is in Switzerland as well.
Lausanne.
Yep.
I think we kind of touched on that just in a different way. How do you get? Oh, okay. How do you get started in running? I mean, you were talking about this is probably a really great place to get started because it's so chill. It's not like hardcore right off the bat. Like if you go to these majors, it's cool, but it's probably a little bit more serious because they are these majors, right?
The majors are intimidating. You can come and do New York and have a run walk experience for sure. But I can imagine. I mean, I'm out there and I can see that would be a bit intimidating. You would feel like, oh, I really have to know what I'm doing.
Right. I don't have any business being here or something like that. Kind of,
Yeah. So two big things. If you want to get started, do not think that from day one you have to run every mile. Like doing the run walk, and I mentioned before, Jeff Galloway has a great program. He's known for this all over the country, probably all over the world, for getting a lot of people started by doing the run walk run. And so that's a great way to get started. Look up Jeff Galloway. And they partner with Disney to exactly for people that want to do their first one. So go somewhere or do something that is not just about the running, that also has something else fun. So if you want to go run a race in Napa because you love wine, or you want to come to Disney and do a Run Disney event, like tie it together with travel or an experience that will also be fun for you. Because the running can, when you're super early and just getting started, the running can be a lot all on its own. And so tie it together. And then my second piece of advice, do it with a friend. Like do the training with a friend, do the race with a friend. The way that my sister and I ran the Princess Half was, we just agreed we were going to both train for this half marathon and we were going to do it together. We got dressed up together. We did it together. And then of course, Jason and I did the Dopey Challenge together. I don't know that I would want to come and do a big race, a fun race all on my own. It's all about like the relationships you have with people.
And if you don't want to travel, and advice to pick a race when you don't want to travel, look around holidays. So the turkey trots, everyone knows the term turkey trot.
Yeah.
But July 4th will have a race. Christmas will have a race. St. Patrick's Day often has really fun races.
Sometimes 4th of July.
Firecracker, 4th of July race or something like that.
Check your local listings for run clubs and run things around you, and
if
just
you
get
don't
plugged in.
If you don't know someone that's like, oh, I can call up this friend and do a training thing with, I guarantee you there are people in your area that are training for the turkey trot or whatever is kind of the big local race in your area. all over at run stores and run clubs. There's all kinds of people, and you're going to make a new friend, which is what this is all
Runners
about.
like to talk about running. So
Oh my gosh,
just
yeah.
fun. Yeah, you probably know a runner somewhere. Get them talking, and
Well, you guys are Disney people, so you know. You can talk about Disney. You
Yes.
enjoy
Yes.
Disney. And runners are the same way about their sport. So if you feel at all like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing, you find a runner and they'll be happy to share with you exactly how to get started and how to get into it and all about their racing experiences and
cool.
and they'd love to share it with you.
That's one of the reasons why, you know, speaking of people that love Disney, that's one of the reasons I think why people love this channel and this community is that, you know, sometimes you talk about, it's kind of like talking about running with somebody that's maybe not into it, talking about Disney with somebody that isn't as interested in it, you know, their eyes glaze over after a while.
Yeah.
And so we have a
Really?
lot of like-minded, Steph.
Yeah, you find your people.
You find your
have
people.
to find your people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Find your
exactly. Oh, one thing I was thinking in the race today, and I meant to share this with you earlier, you don't have to worry about being beat by the person in a costume if you are the person in the
Hey,
costume.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, John.
That's
yes,
right.
all good stuff. Have they ever done a color run? I'm not sure what that is. You guys
Oh,
know?
I haven't done a color run, but my family did one.
Okay.
And they had a lot of fun. Color runs were really, really popular a few years ago. I don't know if they're still around quite as
We should
common.
try to find one.
But we should find
We should
one.
find one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe throughout your 50 states you can find
Maybe
one
in
somewhere.
New Mexico you could do a run around like the hot air balloons or something like.
Oh
that in
yeah, in
Mexico?
Albuquerque, the hot air balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about all the
Yeah,
questions
no.
here, so we probably better
Yeah.
start wrapping up. But
I have a question for
you
you,
go ahead.
Josh.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
go
Oh,
Since we're
good.
doing a little Q&A.
Yes,
Turn
please,
around.
please
Yes.
turn it around.
So I don't know how long we've been on this live stream.
Yeah.
But if you equated the amount of time we've been live streaming, because this is our first live stream.
Yes.
To a running race distance, where are we at?
Oh,
As
yeah,
far as-
what's our
are we at a
time right
5K? Are we
Oh,
at
what's our
10K?
time?
Oh, okay.
Are
So
we at
we
a-
are. We started at 1:30. No, sorry. Started a little after 1:30. Like I'd say 1:38. So we are about 2.5 hours in right now.
You could run a half. You
No,
could
no,
run
no.
a half. Oh.
No, I'm asking Josh, what does that equate to?
Oh.
For
distance.
are we at a 5K?
Oh, you mean for, like,
equivalent
live
of
streaming.
a-
Oh,
Okay.
of a
I see, I
live
see, I
stream.
see.
So, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, our normal live streams are anywhere between 4 to 5 hours. 4 hours is probably kind of a mean for our live streams. That would be probably the equivalent of like a 10K.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
getting so we passed 5K probably easily.
Nice.
So yeah.
So we're yes.
So
Our-
that 2 hours 24 minutes. Thank you, Mara. So we
Thank
passed
you.
5K for sure. You know, I'd say the full marathon is the all-day stream.
Yep, yep.
And I've done one by myself. You know, 12 hours by yourself. It's a lot, but honestly, people are like, "Oh, how do you keep it interesting the whole time?" And a lot of it is this right here. People, if I run out of stuff to say, somebody says something, and then that sparks me,
Sparks.
and we just
Yeah.
keep going. So
Yeah.
I feel good having done my first 5K live stream.
yes,
I feel good.
Oh,
Not
you guys
quite
are-
10K yet.
you guys are doing great. What do you think, guys, in the chat? You'll have to watch
So
back.
how does this compare to your press interview the other morning?
Yeah, Jason went live for the first time on Channel 2. I got us
I mean,
a
we're
media
talking
gig.
family here, so this
Yeah,
was
right.
much easier. No, we did the channel live on Channel
With
2, a
West
little
2,
live
right.
segment in the studio, like with the lights and everything.
Yeah.
And it was very nerve wracking for me. I almost went like Ricky Bobby with like I didn't know what my hand. I
Well, here.
got super awkward.
Now that we're almost to the end, I'll let you know how many people have watched this so far.
Oh, yeah,
and then
that'll
you
be
can
fun
kind of
for us
see you
to
can
know.
kind of see
Yeah.
where.
If you guys stuck around.
Yeah. Well,
and
yeah.
we're interested in
Let's
what we're
see here.
doing out
And
here.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, if you decide to follow Jenny and Jason Run USA, like comment somehow, like
Yeah.
let us
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
that
let
you're
us know that you
coming
found us
over.
on this stream.
Yes,
because
please.
we're
give you
so
a special
grateful
shout-out
that
or
you guys
something.
have been following and supporting Josh and Steph. And like Jason said, this is family for us, so it's really fun
Oh,
to
absolutely.
kind of virtually meet all of you and get you guys excited, hopefully, about some of the stuff that we're doing.
So here we go. Are you ready for the amount of people that have watched the stream so far? Now there'll be more later.
Yeah.
So far, 6,300 people have watched this stream.
Wow.
You guys are awesome.
You guys
Wow.
brought it. I love
6,000
it.
on a
I love
Sunday.
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. So it's awesome. And
very cool.
yeah, so definitely, guys, go check out the Instagram, go check out the YouTube, and go follow them on there. Leave a comment on one of their posts and let them know, that you were watching the stream and that you saw them on here. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And otherwise, I think that we can wrap it up. And definitely thank you so much for joining us. This has been super
so
fun.
glad we got this time.
Yeah, this is, and you guys, the audience, made us doing some work together as family possible. So we really loved kind of merging our stuff together. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. And back when this is all uploaded, you can go back and watch the live chat so you can see how people were reacting to what you were saying, which is cool.
Oh, that'll be super fun.
While you're getting puppy cuddles.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Puppy cuddles, exactly. Best recovery in the land.
And they didn't make the live stream. We'll have to do another one sometime.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we didn't.
Well, you have to follow us to see the puppies.
That's right. Follow. Yeah, there you go. That's the tease right
the
there.
reward.
That's the
There you
tease.
go. So.
Awesome. Well,
And eventually they're going to show you their rig and RV and all their
they
travels
show
on the
all that
road.
stuff on their other
Yes.
social media. So if you want to see their RV and their setup, they've got all that stuff, I'm sure, on Instagram and whatnot. So
coming up.
Coming up.
Soon.
It's coming up.
Very soon.
But sorry, we have to wrap it up because there is a Mickey Mouse ice cream bar waiting for me in a park. And we gotta go get
going.
it.
Yep. Let's go over here by the water and say goodbye to everybody. We always so here you get to participate in the Resort TV 1 sign off, which I say have a great big beautiful tomorrow, and you guys all say bye at the same time.
All right.
So that's the thing. Oh, you know what? I probably should grab my stuff. You got it? Are you sure? Let me see here.
No, just go.
Wrap up.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Oh, we'll come back. Okay. I've never done this before. This is my first time. It's fine. It's my first. Ron used to say that's my first day. There we go.
It's so beautiful and peaceful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, this is perfect. We'll face towards where the boats are coming in. There we go. Okay. Let me do the selfie cam thing here. There we go. We'll all get in here. There we go. I get Jason in there. All right, perfect. So, thank you again for joining us, everybody. This has been a super, super fun day, and I hope that you learned something or were motivated in some way. I know a lot of people said that they were, so that's super awesome.
Yay.
So, yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Definitely leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. And, all the sponsors, all the links are in the description, all that stuff. We appreciate all of them. And, we'll see you on the next stream. Jen will be live tomorrow. Oh, and one more thing. We posted our cruise video. There is actually a cruise stateroom video that was posted today. And then the day 3 vlog was posted Friday. So go and watch the cruise videos too. That was super fun. So, all right, everybody. We will see you soon. So for now, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.